Shut up and sit down.
And we're on, yes, folks. Welcome.
Hello.
Let's let Fox do his intro. Go on.
We can both say hello at the same time.
I know. Oh, for God's sake. Do you not understand the irony of humour, Fox?
I do.
Moving on, because we don't want to start with our nitpicking yet again.
Go on.
Welcome, he says to a Friday frolic. Yes, folks, we are back on air. We had a couple of days, using the word loosely, a couple of days rest to try to de-stress and chill out, and that went really well. So we're back streaming, folks. Yes. So I'm going to do the pimpage first. If you'd like to support this channel, head over to patreon.com/Festa67's workshop, or click the join button below, or you can also click the $sign to leave a super chat. All goes in a big pot and helps pay for this, because the prices are getting silly, aren't they? So shrinkflation wibble that could have been, so we'll avoid that. So
Steady.
talking of important people and super duper sexy folks, let's have a looky, kids, at who we've got in the chat. Usual wall of text at the top there, folks, with loads of links for you to save money on your tabletop gaming needs. Also, there's a link up there to me scale mates. Go and have a look, join it, become my mate. Because what I'm going to start doing in the YouTube is I'm going to choose different kits from genres in my scale mates and do a poll as to what people would like me to do as my next builds. I want to try and involve you all a bit more. PJ, go on, steal that one, mate. You know you want to.
No, I'm not doing
Fox is going, whoop, whoop, everybody look at the moon. Why is that? Why have we got to look at the moon? Is it a full moon, a blue moon, a red moon?
It's a quote from somewhere that was in my head when I was typing. Everybody look at the moon. It's come from somewhere. I can't remember where it's from.
Or was it your all-time favourite, Come to Button Moon?
No, Mr. Spoon. I can't sing.
You knew the words, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. We all go to Button Moon to visit Mr. Spoon. Button Moon, Button Moon.
PJ says, what? There's a moon? Where? Yes, PJ. You know that speck on your window that you thought was a bit of silver primer? Yeah, it's not, mate. It's Moonykins.
That's the camera the CIA put in.
Yeah, apparently a bloke walked on there once as well. Controversial. Haunted Halloween Railway Jake, a.k.a. Jake, says hi, Colin, Fox and Lewis to PJ.
Hey, Jake.
Hello, Jake. How you doing? Bobbins is in.
Hello, PJ, by the way.
Yeah, Bobbins is in, says greetings. Hello, Bobbins. How you doing? Jake says to you, what moon?
There is a moon.
Yeah, PJ says, good evening, Colin, a Gufforn, a princess, and everyone in the chat.
Morning, evening.
He says that also the moon is an alien construct. Prove me wrong. Yeah, it's our very own Death Star, mate.
It's a giant alien egg. Didn't you watch Doctor Who? Come on. That's a documentary, that is.
No. To be quite honest with you, I've watched a couple of episodes. It didn't float my boat. JC Bricks and Bill says, evening, morning, Colin, Fox, all in chat, Festa and Fox Hugs. Hello, JC. How you doing, geezer? PJ says, hi there, Brick Boy. James saying hello to Jake. I can't remember his girl's name for this month. Cassandra is in, saying, evening all, hope you're all well. Hello, Cassandra. How you doing? I very nearly called him Love Them.
That's like calling the teacher dad, isn't it?
It is. PJ, James says, I had a shiny get. Wolf Richie's in, says hi or hello, mate. How you doing? James is in with a belly bench and beverage, because, folks, belly bench and beverage. What's in the belly? What's on the bench? What is in the beverage? Whatever. Your beverage of choice is southern fried chicken, he says, hot wings and peri-peri fries. Bench converting to be a Porsche 88 into an RWB. Oh, they did a kit of an RWB. Beverage is Pepsi Cherry. And he says audio and video is Perfecto.
What's RWB?
I don't know. It's Porsches. They're all pretty much jelly moulds and don't really float my boat. Yeah.
Not really.
Jake says, oh, good, thanks. How's you both? Fine and dandy, mate. You know, a little bit more chilled, but not fully chilled as I'd like to be. Hi, Cole, Fox, and everyone in chat says the wonderful Jeff Light. He said, also, audio and video is perfect. How you doing, Jeff?
Thank you, Jeff.
Haunted Halloween is saying hello to Jeff. Cassandra's Belly is beef and tomato pot noodle, the only and the suitably correct pot noodle in this world. Pepperoni pizza and 4 chocolate eclairs. 4 chocolate eclairs.
4.
I'd love to see your sugar levels. Bench 35th Dragon Sherman, bench Dr. Pepper. What's the worst that could happen?
4 chocolate eclairs. Does it mean? I assume it means the proper bun thing and not the little sweet.
I presume so. Bobbins has put in a £5 super chat with a big message saying this is a super chat. Happy days.
Excellent.
Thank you very, very kindly, Bobbins. That will be put to good use massively. Peaches this month, he says.
That's it, Peaches.
Of course it is, yeah, because you've had Cassandra and Dorothy, haven't you? Yeah. Jake says good. He says, hi, Crafting Mama. Crafting Budgie Mama's in, saying hi, everyone. There's a bit of on-screen air guitar coming your way shortly, which is for Bobbins' super chat. You get a nice little on-screen emoji comes up when YouTube catches up, so... RWB is a type of body kit, just like RUF, Fox. Yeah, you know what you've done there. You know what you've done there, James. He's now going to say...
What's RUF? I don't know what.
There you go.
And also... This is just like this other thing that you don't know what that is either. Brilliant. Well, thank you.
Yeah, also...
I know, nice body kit.
Yeah, also don't forget Fox and Shiny Cars. Just saying.
Yeah, not a clue. Not a clue.
And Peachy says, yes, it's diabetes time at mine tonight. Happy days, mate. Happy days. So anyway, how's you? How's my mum?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm fine and dandy. Mama Wolf is sat downstairs with half a Subway and a load of jammy scones, so she's quite happy, thank you. Oblivious to most things. No, just like you, had a quiet week this week.
Yeah.
Just been chilling out a little bit of Xbox time, a little bit of chilling and catching up. We've got builders in next door for the next few months now, so I'm surviving on about 2 hours sleep a night, which is always fun. So just taking it easy at the moment.
Nice one, yes. Sleep. Sleep? Yeah.
Yeah, they were knocking out a back wall, it sounds like, this morning with a lump hammer. So that was like from 9 o'clock till about 1 in the afternoon. I'm like, I'm just going to have to get up now. I can't. Because I don't get to bed till about 5 a.m. So it's like, oh.
Yeah, you don't need it, do you, mate?
Okay. To be fair, though, to their credit, they don't listen to Radio 1. I don't know how this has happened. They listen to something else. It's still loud and annoying, but it's not Radio 1. So that's a small mercy.
Oh, that's a good thing, then.
Nothing worse. I can live with the angle grinders and the sawing and the hammering, but just don't have the radio blaring at full volume. I can't sleep through that.
Yeah, that's a bit, especially if it's Radio 1, because, that's really going to cheer you up, isn't it?
How are you? How's my mum?
I'm all right. Yeah, my mum, she's remarkably quiet at the moment, for a change. So
that's concerning.
It is. When she gets a bit subdued, it's because she's brooding on something.
That's like you being in the good books.
Yeah, I tend not to ask, what's up, Mum? You're quiet, because
yeah, when she's bouncy and happy, you know, you can ask things like that.
Yeah, because you get the wibble, and when the wibble starts, it's like the planet slows down somewhat because it's trying to listen, you know.
The thing is, when you're Colin and you know you can wibble like a legend, you have to remember that your mum taught you how to wibble. So Colin knows not to make his mum do a wibble.
Mate, I can have a wibble with the best of them, mate. I like a good wibble. Makes you feel better. So, yes, the interested people will notice there is something different on the bench this week. Yes, I have got the body shell of an AMG Merc on the bench. It's one of those bad boys is what I'm going to be doing. Mercedes-Benz SLS AMG, and it's got wing doors.
Ooh.
So, yeah, because the shiny bike got finished the other night, because I'm in between doing a lot of filming this week. needed to catch up with some filming commitments. So I kind of thought I'd do the rest of my bike. So to finish that filming. So there it is, folks.
Oh, look at that.
That's the Ducati Panigale 1199S Tricolore. Best of does Italian. So, so a big thank you to Wendy Hickson for sending me that. I've now got about 20 hours of video to edit down into a couple of episodes. So that'll be going up on the channel.
You can squeeze out a nice bike build when you want to, can't you?
It's just in between not being able to paint Harley Quinn diamonds. I've had to go on to easier things at the moment because
bigger things.
So so I thought I'd start the AMG Merc. It's had the body panels put on just to check fitment, the front and rear bumpers, and obviously the gull wings started together with a removable interior so that I can paint everything. So that I can start prepping the shell, because I like to take it from super shiny Revell plastic. I then buff it down so that I can key the bodywork. So that's what I was doing on that. And I also started drilling out the brake discs. Quite why, but it just looks better. You started it
and your brain went, "Why did I start doing this?"
But to me, it just looks better drilling them out. So I've got the other three still to do, so I'll do that off air. I might do some on air later. I'll see how we go. Yeah. What are you up to, mate, tonight?
Tonight I'll be carrying on with my Cromlech Greatcoats. What they called? They call them Greatcoat Schmeiser Squad. So it's basically Orc Deathcore. And I did some blue and started painting all the leather bits last. I'm still doing the base colours, basically.
Yeah.
I'm going to finish all the leather colours and then get some more detailed bits painted before we can start giving them a wash. So I shall just be working my way around the skin and accessories and bits on those guys. Got 10 of them to do.
Days.
Got some more benches and bellies for you.
Oh, go on then.
PJ says, belly, 5 Guys double hamburger with jalapeno chilies, Cajun fries, and a chocolate shake.
I've never had a 5 Guys. I've heard they're supposed to be pretty mint, but I've not had one yet.
Yeah, I don't think we've got one round here. Bench 132nd Tamiya Mitsubishi Zero Type 21 with loads and loads of aftermarket stuff. Beverage, Sol.
Nice one.
And the bobbin says, belly, spicy Korean chicken wings and spicy rice, bench 124th VW camper van pickup, beverage, Johnny Walker.
Oh, nice.
And Jake says, I don't listen to the radio, which is good.
Shout.
There's nothing on radio worth listening to, really.
Yeah, I don't watch the news channels now because slippers may have been lobbed at TVs,
Yeah. Well, the thing is, there's no point in me listening to radio because I'm not interested in what the DJs will have to say, and I don't care for the music, so... Unless it's like, I don't know, a few programmes on Radio 4 that I might find interesting. Other than that, nothing.
Absolutely.
So don't bother. I think we're up to date there with the chat. 5 Guys is good, but very pricey, says Scale Modelling Chaos.
Is it really? Yeah.
I only know 5 Guys because I used to listen to the Major Nelson podcast back in the early Xbox days.
Yeah.
And they used to talk about 5 Guys and White Castle.
Yeah, I always thought it was a predominantly northern thing.
No, I don't even know if we've got any up here. I think we've got maybe 1 or 2. It's American, I think, but I didn't even know we had them in this country till recently. So I think PJ mentioned them a while ago.
Yeah.
Jeff Light says, belly earlier, quiche Lorraine, chunky chips and coleslaw, followed by raspberries and clotted cream. You have to make the noise when you say raspberries.
Oh, absolutely.
Bench earlier, continuing with the decaling of 135th Husky, TSV, beverage, Bacardi and lemonade.
Oh, nice one.
Jake says, same, I have to watch baby TV 24/7. Just watch Bluey all day, it's great, you'll love it.
Oh, PJ's just twitched.
PJ just bailed out the chat straight away.
Yeah, that is Fox's default setting. If in doubt, watch Bluey.
Yeah.
I got him the other day, though, because I did a Bluey emoticon or GIF in the chat. And he was kind of proud of me, wouldn't you?
I was like, oh, you just done without me prompting him, he did his own. He did it all by himself, bless him.
Yeah.
He was all grown up and clever and he did it all by himself. JC says, does that mean you have to watch Bluey too then, Jake? And he's like, yeah.
Oh dear, yeah, I feel your pain there, Jake, mate. With me, when my boys were growing up, it was cow and chicken was their thing.
I remember liking cow and chicken because it was quite anarchic.
Yeah, it was proper. It was a dad's cartoon. That's the best way of describing it. It was proper mayhem.
Yeah, there was proper grown-up humour in there, cow and chicken.
Oh, yeah.
I never liked Ren and Stimpy, but I like cow and chicken.
Yeah. Cow and Chicken and Dexter's Lab were the two that
Dexter's Lab was quite good.
Dexter's
Lab was good.
But yeah, for me, Cow and Chicken all day long. It ticked all the boxes for me, and it was like...
You are now redeemed. You are now redeemed in my eyes that you used to like Cow and Chicken. Cow and Chicken, by default, that means you also used to like I Am Weasel, which is the same kind of stuff. I guess.
No, I've not seen it, mate.
I remember that. I think it was like a little short in that series.
Yeah.
Then, I think.
So I've gone from being fully redeemed to back on the
No.
Yeah, it used to be on the old Cartoon Network channel, wasn't it? I may have every episode of Cow and Chicken.
Oh, you're so redeemed now. You've come home now.
I can give you a link on G Drive so you can watch them.
Mama had a chicken. Papa had a cow.
I've also got all of Johnny Bravo.
Oh, I don't remember being that keen on Johnny Bravo.
Yeah.
Although I might think of it differently now as an adult. Oh, now as a more adult.
Yeah. So...
I used to like Rocko's Modern Life, but nobody remembers Rocko's Modern Life that much.
No, I can't remember that one, I'm afraid, mate. My bad.
No. He was like a wallaby. He had a dog called Spunky.
Oh. Good name for a dog.
His mate was... Well, he was Australian, so Spunky just means kind of like, hyperactive and full of beans.
See, I'm of the generation, right?
Yeah, I know what that means.
Ever I see on Formula One a McLaren driver being interviewed, I can't help but snigger at the name written across the front of their uniform, which is Splunk.
What the hell, Splunk?
I don't know, but am I the only bloke that sits at home and go, that sounds like, yeah.
No, every time when I was young and we used to watch Neighbours, like... Every time some woman described a bloke as, or even a bloke described a woman as spunky, because it was like, oh, it's so spanky, meaning she's like, lively and hot. It's like, yeah, that doesn't mean the same thing here in the UK.
No.
And his best friend was a cow called Hef. Come on, Hef. I used to like Rocko's Modern Life.
I gather that because you still remember quotes. That's impressive.
I think they made a series of it recently, like revived it a little bit, and it seems to have disappeared after that. So it was one of those modern failed remakes.
Yeah. Jake says my little one got his first train set the other day. Yeah, was that his first train set, or was that your latest train set for being a dad?
My little one got his first train set. He's 6 months old. Yeah, let's say who got the first train set then.
Yeah. See, when my lad turned 1, I went out and I splurged out on a all singing, all dancing, massive room filling Scale Electric set.
Yeah.
He's 30 in a couple of months. He's never played it.
He's never even seen it because it's in his dad's wardrobe, and it still is to this day.
It got set up once. The missus was like, got to clear that away. We need to set up for dinner, and it's never been out again.
All these fathers that buy their kids like these, they buy their sons their presents that for when they're like 6 months old. Yes, my 6-month-old boy, I bought him his first car, which was a Ferrari, and I drive it every day to keep it running.
Exactly. That's privilege, mate. That's privilege, Fox.
Absolutely, that's privilege. Don't even think it isn't.
No, it definitely is, mate. It's like, I'm all over that bad boy, mate. It's like,
it is. Yeah, it is the order of things.
Exactly.
I don't have kids, but if I did, they'd never get any toys because I would keep them all for myself.
H was like, you bought that for you, didn't you? I said, I'm going to stand here and deny that profusely. And as I walked out the room, I went, how did she know?
Walked out the room going, meow, meow.
Oh, yeah.
Did it have the track switching gimmick?
Crossovers, all of that. Mate. Oh, yeah, it had the proper start line thing where you could do a standing start. Oh, mate.
See, we never had a Scale Extra. I never was bought anything like that for myself, but my brother had an Aurora set, which was an American version, a scale X-Trick, which was bizarrely James Hunt. So go figure.
Yeah.
But it was the same thing. But I used to every now and then, I can't remember, I got it from my local toy shop, like the Matchbox catalogue.
Oh, right, yeah.
For a few years when I was a kid, like the late 70s, and I used to drool over the scale X-Trick in there because it was in that catalogue.
Yeah, there's something about that set.
Oh, yeah. I used to, I remember about a year ago, I was prompted, I can't remember what it prompted me to do, but I went and looked up the old Matchbox catalogues that I remember from me, and somebody had uploaded them all, every single page of all of them.
Oh, wow.
And I was basically looking through the catalogue from like 1977. I'm like, I remember reading this exact catalogue and lusting over all the toys in it. Oh, wow.
Oh, yes.
I was looking back on it and it's like, wow, all the toys in this catalogue are so crap.
You remember the Palatoy adverts around about Christmas for all the different figures you could get? Star Wars, Planet of the Apes, wasn't it?
Planet of the Apes, yeah.
So,
I was actually earlier today Googling the old Action Man Willie's Jeep.
Oh, was you really?
Because I used to have one, and I didn't know the previous version. Mine was the one, I think 79 it came out, with the opening bonnet and the trailer.
Yeah, I had the big helicopter.
Well, I never had the tank. My brothers had the tank, so I inherited the tank with no tracks and no turret.
Yeah.
But I got the Willie's Jeep and the flatbed truck with the full tilt on it on the back.
Oh, nice one.
And you know what I used to do, of course? I used to get on my Action Man, a bunch of Action Men. I get out in the garden and I'd dress some of them up as in German uniforms, because I had a few like Wehrmacht uniforms and a few like Tommy uniforms. All the Germans would be in the Jeep.
Yeah.
And there'd also be a couple of Germans in the truck driving it. And I had a wooden crate from a cowboy set that was basically the Ark of the Covenant in its crate.
Oh, nice one, yeah.
So you know what scene I reproduced from Raiders of the Lost Ark with a truck and a Jeep.
Oh, yeah. Fair play, mate.
Oh, yeah, he was climbing up the front. It was great. And these things were massive, man.
I had the full $6 million man with the operating theatre, rocket ship, Oscar Goldman and Maskatron.
I had the Maskatron on the rocket ship. Oh, it was so good.
It was like,
and he came in this... Action Man came in this weird rubbery spacesuit or something. I don't quite know why. It was like a pink spacesuit or something weird.
Yeah. It was all good fun, mate.
Maskatron, I forgot. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. $6 million man.
Because I'd never really seen the episode, so I was like, well, Maskatron can either be Steve Austin, Oscar Goldman, or some other guy I've never heard of.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it was Maskatron himself, wasn't it? Yeah, three masks, wasn't it? And it was like, yeah. Maskatron.
If
ever you want to watch it, YouTube it, folks. It is proper kitsch TV, but...
I can even remember unboxing that space rocket at one year at Christmas when my dad got it from him.
I got to the point I could sit there and pack it away and build it. No instructions needed, all done from memory. I was so proud of myself.
Oh, yeah.
Because your mum would have a go at setting it up and it would be like, yeah, Mum, you're doing it wrong. Really? Did you not see that episode?
You don't understand, Mum. Come on, step away now.
Yeah, and this was only last week. You know, it's like, really, Mum? Yeah. Come on. Had all these years to practice.
Her eyes aren't as good as they used to be.
No, she's only got one, and that's got a cataract in it. Who'd figure it?
God. It's better than, it's like Mama Wolf. Like, she had a little mini stroke about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
It was only about 8 months ago she went, I can't see out of one of my eyes, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Why haven't you told me this before? Why have you never mentioned this to all the doctors you've been seeing for the last 3 years?
Yeah, mine had a failed detached retina surgery, so...
Yeah.
Yeah. She says, ironic, she says. I said, why is that, Mum? Got one eye that I could see out of. She says, I have to get a cataract in it. Really, she says? I was like, calm down, dear. You're going to send your blood pressure through the roof. But yeah, wibbles ensued.
At least they can fix it easily, so don't worry too much.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Her philosophy now is, I'm not having to mess around with my eyes because look what happened last time.
Yeah, well, I suppose, and that's the thing I've noticed with Mama Wolf is, and, other people I know that as they get older, they get like that.
Yeah, they don't want to be interfered with, do they?
No, they don't like being in hospital because they're old and they know what it means to go into hospital when you're old. It's like,
yeah.
And it's like, I can fully understand that because I know I'll get that way.
Yeah.
Because like right now in my stage of life, if I get like a hangnail, I want an ambulance and a surgery room booked.
Oh yeah, you are a proper drama queen. I give you that.
Yeah. But when I get to like 1,000 years old, like Mama Wolf,
Yeah.
I'll be like, we're not going to the bloody hospital. You can I'll just
I
give me
don't
that
think
sprint. I'll be
there
fine.
is anyone out there that could beat you for your princess mode.
No.
You are that man where if you get a sniffle, that's it. I've got COVID, or you get a
I've
sore
got leprosy,
finger.
I'm going to die.
That's it. I now need my hand amputated. It's like, yeah. Honestly, he is that bad, folks.
The thing is, it serves me well when I have got something wrong with me seriously, because then I get it fixed quickly. But at the same time,
I mean, who can forget Sawsy Warsy, Hurtsy Wurtsy Fummykins? Come on.
Hey?
Sawsy Warsy, Hurtsykins, Fummykins,
Well, that's an ongoing issue, but
it was fun.
I do ham that one up a little bit. But the only reason I ham that up is because I get grumpy because I can't play my video games.
That's the only reason, isn't it? It's because
that's a major life crisis impact. That it's like, come on, don't take my video games away from me. Come on,
it's funny. It's funny. Bless you.
Yeah.
Don't ever change, dear.
No. Well, I'm waiting to find out what this year's great medical complaint is, because like over the last few years. It was like there was the year of the screwed up knee, which bizarrely went away after a year. Then there was the year of the screwed up foot, which again just kind of went away. Then there was the year of the broken foot.
Yeah.
Then there was the year of having to have teeth out and teeth problems.
Oh yeah, because you've got super sensitive teeth, haven't you? I forgot about that one.
Yeah. No, I actually had a couple of teeth that just died and I had to get them taken out. So there's that as well. Then after that, I think last year was the year of the shoulder going out and having calcifications on the shoulder. It's like every year there's been like I've been fine apart from one thing that's happened and it's just knocked me off for 6 months. It's like I'm waiting to find out what this year's big thing is.
I get to that point. It's like I don't want any surgical interventions this year, and it normally doesn't work out.
Yeah.
Now what had happened will happen at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But no, the next big thing here is going to be H having her hand done, her left hand this year.
Yeah, in the next month or two, next few months.
Yeah, we've got that coming up in the next couple of months. So she's going quite radical with the surgery, bless her.
Yeah. But at least she's been through it once already, so she knows what to expect. It's not an unknown quantity this time, so.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make it any easier, I know, but it makes it less scary.
No, that's right. But, yeah.
She knows what's going to happen. And
which gives me the opportunity to sit there and binge watch Edward Scissorhands just because I'm too frightened to call her it. I'll just sit and watch the film with a smirk from ear to ear.
Yeah, the bit he misses out there is sit and watch Edward Scissorhands right in front of her. That's the little bit he missed out of that
she's
sentence.
there when I do it, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, see, she walks around trying to flick magnets at me back when I had all my fusions done. So I
told you she was a keeper.
Oh, yeah. I thought, I'll get your back. So, of course, when Edward Spannerhands Mark 1 happened, did I go for it? Until that day, I did it once too often, and it was like, you do realise you've got Goliath to come out later in the year, and, you're opening up a world of pain, young man.
Yeah.
By Christ, did she milk it.
Because she's like, this metal I've got in my hands, but a lot more in you.
Well, yeah, I had a fair bit of reconstruction surgery in my lower back, so she did a full rendition of the Plenty advert. But instead of one sheet, it was one cheek. Yeah. And that is still her thing. It's like...
Come on, one cheek.
Yeah, full Matador and all of that lot. It's like, yeah, you and that Matador mimicking is going to be a problem. But, yeah. Suffice to say...
You're like...
Yeah.
You're like, it's going to be a problem. And she's like, is it? And you're like, no, dear.
No, dear. You carry on, love. You do that as often as you want. You can do it in front of all my family and friends because it is brilliant.
That's the problem, you see, that like if you do that to her, she can threaten you with all kinds of stuff and you give in. But if she does it to you, you can't really threaten anything because you'll just be like, really?
Oh, yeah. Her immediate response would be, bring it on, slaphead.
Yep. And you'll be like, oh.
Because by the time you've got to me across the room, I'm going to be over there, and then you'll lose steam before I do, dear. Damn it.
Yeah.
Got me again.
Yeah.
Of course, I try this when I go to the quacks and I go, she picks on me all the time, you know, and they're like, don't be so silly. Look at
your doctor's like, you know, we do talk to each other when you're not around.
Yeah, that wee lovely lady sat in the corner, and I'm like, damn, she is good at playing the lovely lady. I'll give her that.
Looking all prim and proper.
Oh, yeah.
And gentle and thoughtful.
Flutters her eyelids, butter wouldn't melt in her mouth mode. It's like, damn it.
Is that when she puts on the proper Edinburgh, oh, no, accent?
Yeah. Oh, away with you, she goes.
Like, how wouldn't he do that?
Yeah, it's like, damn it, she's good. Well, next year she's going up to Findle. Well, next year we're going up to Findle because she wants to go home one last time while she can. I'm like, yeah. I said, you're 55, love. You're not 85.
It's not like she's on death's door, is it? She's got decades yet.
I know, but yeah.
Yeah.
I know where that's coming from, but yeah.
Yeah. Bless her.
I'm like, oh, all right then. I did try can you not go on your own, love? Because, you know. And then she said, I will be coming back, she said. I said, yeah, not if your passport ain't valid. And she went, really? Yeah, she goes into reminiscing mode every now and then and wants to go back home, have a think and a chill. Yeah,
she gets that Scottish. What's the word I'm looking for? Not dourness, the Scottish introspection.
Yeah,
Scots are known for.
You can take the person out of Scotland, but you can't take Scotland out of the person. It's a bit like the London thing, isn't it? You know, yeah. I wouldn't want to live there now, but when I do go back, it's like, yeah, it's still home, innit? It's, yeah.
Yeah.
But you then sit there and think, damn, it's hectic now.
Yeah.
But down here is getting just like it. So, it's a thing, isn't it? I think everywhere's like it now.
Yeah. I mean, nowhere's the same.
No.
I'm trying to paint the top of this pack on this guy, and I've managed to paint so far his jacket, his gun, his hand, and everything else around the pack I'm trying to paint. It's just so hard to get to. It's so hard to get. I'm glad I'm painting this now and not like later on.
Yeah.
It's like, well done, I've managed to get paint on every other surface except the one I need paint on.
Yeah.
I may just have to give up.
Oh, dear. Don't give up. What are you going to do
No, as in, just leave it whatever colour it is, and the wash will hide it. I can't get a brush near it.
If in doubt, weather it out.
Yeah.
That's what you always say to me. Weathering hides a multitude of sins.
I think by the time I get the brush to the thing I need to paint, all the paint's come off everywhere else, so.
Goes into Slim Tony mode. Life is like making love to a beautiful woman.
Yeah, you know, putting a wallpaper is very much like...
Yeah.
Slap it on, stand back, light your pipe, and admire your handiwork.
Would he be allowed on TV now doing that character? Makes you wonder, doesn't it? PJ says, Splunk is an American software company based in San Francisco, California. Thank you very much for that very interesting factoid.
Ah, California, that explains it all.
Yeah.
There's an American brand of food trucks.
Oh, right.
Called Nom.
Oh, right, yeah.
That's a good company name.
That is actually all day long, yeah.
Just says Nom down the side. It's like, cool. How are you getting on there, Spud? What are you doing?
I am putting together a set of exhausts, mate.
Ooh. Are you fiddling with your manifolds?
Yeah, I'm doing all my de-seaming and dry fitting stuff because, yeah, it's what you do. And it's ironic because you've got a big plastic shroud that goes over this and you'll never see any of this detail. Yeah. But I know it's there and I know it's been de-seamed and I know it's been...
Yeah.
And I'll probably
It's like one of those
still put leads on it, but
it does amuse me when people make car kits like because you can get your curbside car kits with no engine, but then you get those ones with the full engine.
yeah,
The people that do all that and then they fix the bonnet in place. It's like, why not leave it so you can open it and show off if you wanted to?
Oh, I see that a hell of a lot. People do it, but
it's like, and you've just spent ages painting the engine, but now you've glued the bonnet down. It's like you could have just left it openable.
Yeah,
because you want to show off your work. I mean, it's like, I know, like on a lot of aircraft kits, you do all the interior stuff and then never see it again, but you don't have the option to keep things openable.
Oh, I did that on my Messerschmitt BF109. I even scratch built the little loops on the rudder pedals. And of course, when you put the figure in there and the canopy on, you can't see his feet. They're gone. You know.
Well, you can at least take pictures for posterity, I suppose.
I know, there is that.
Yeah.
What else is going on? Jake says, JC, I watched all the way up to 15 and then stopped them. Then the CJI Thomas person died.
What's that about?
Don't know. Both Colin, says Jake, he's 15 months old. I don't know, mate. I haven't scrolled up, mate. He's got an RC car that he can sit in as well, and he got that when he turned 1 and he loves it. Absolutely. What else is going on there? Peaches says, got a nice little present coming in the next few days. I bought a foam cutter for 48 pence, free shipping off of Wish. Yeah, I've got one of those, what's his name, cutting tables above me head there, the foam cutting tables. That'll be making an appearance soon for Ringo's base.
They're the ones with the little heated wire thing and
yeah, it's got all the slides. Sorry, mate, I was trying to have a mouthful of grub there, mate.
Yeah, like a heated wire that goes through like a cheese cutter, but heated. And
yeah, that's it. And it's got all the slidey bits and all of that, lot, so you can do proper cuts.
It's kind of mesmerising watching those because it's silent.
Absolutely. Blast from the past, Adeptus. Latrina is in. Boys, he says, it's been a while. How did your move go, mate? Are you all salted now, buddy?
Hello, buddy. And well done to you, Colin, for remembering there was even a move, because I'd forgotten about that.
Yeah, I pay attention to what my members and people say, mate.
So do I. I just instantly forget it. That's the problem I've got, you see. I see things, I just don't remember them. I've seen Adeptus for a while.
Yeah, because he was in Nevada, wasn't he? Vegas, and I think he's gone to the East Coast, am I right there? New York area?
Well, that's maximum remembering, that is.
He might have ended up in Texas for all I know, but I'm sure he said he was going that way. I could be wrong.
You're remembering all the things.
Yeah, don't tell H, though, that I'm remembering stuff, because, you know.
Yeah, just strictly entre nous, mate, just between you and me. We don't need to make it anybody else that knows this.
Yeah, luckily this isn't live on air, you know, but.
No. Luckily, H doesn't have access to any kind of, internet or anything. Just imagine if she had access to an internet. God, you'd be knackered.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't be able to, yeah.
She'd find out about your hobby. She'd everything.
Bless her.
Find out about your models and stashes.
Oh, she knows my stash, mate. She's responsible for quite a lot of it.
That was the joke.
Yes, I know, dear. I'm not. Oh, I wish you'd stop making me out to be an idiot.
I'm not.
He says, I'm in Pennsylvania. I've been living with friends for a while now. Ah, there you go. Pennsylvania. This one.
Up the northeast, I think. Am I remembering that right?
I presume so. I'm not.
Up Washington way?
Yeah, it's up a bit, isn't it?
Yeah. Somewhere up that part of the country.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Now, what colour are you going to do that Merc, Col? It's red on the box. Have you had thoughts about colours?
I've got 50 shades of different red paints to do or use, but I don't know, because I would have thought 90% of people have done it the same colour as the box art. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm undecided yet. That's why the shell is sitting where it is. To one side now, Purely because I
speak
want
to
it. Yeah, it needs to talk to me about colour.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, it's one of them. You know, I've got Castrol reds, I've got Boyd reds, all kinds of different reds, but I don't know whether I'm going to change it up and do it a different colour. I'm undecided. I might just do it as a bog standard out of box build and just do it in the box colour, but I don't know.
Boyd, for some reason, when you said Boyd red, all I was like, my brain was like, oh, you mean like a New York ornithologist?
It's a specific red from Boyd Coddington that was used on the ZZ Top Eliminator from the album, and it was a mixture of a few different tonal reds, and yeah, and because his name was Boyd Coddington, it got named Boyd Red. Who'd figure?
Boyd.
I managed to get some. So thanks to the folks over at Hero Boy for that. So yeah, I've got choices, put it that way, but I really don't know which way to go.
That's the beauty of the hobby. You can do it however you want.
Exactly. I mean, I can't do a candy red because I did that on the Stark Audi. I've done Suzuki colours. I've done Kawasaki colours on the Land Rover, so I'll just go through my paints and see what I've got.
Do Merc have any signature colours? Well, I know like VW has Gulf Blue and
yeah,
Ferrari
I've
has
got
their reds.
a website that I've been going to just for a bit of reference on the car, and I'm going to go through the factory colour range and see what's about, just to try and get. And obviously, you can just Google it and you'll get loads of images come up of different ones, but I honestly don't know, to be honest. No. Because I've done red on the bike. I'm getting a bit fed up with painting red at the moment. So.
Yeah. Well, you're the same with yellow, aren't you? You've got a bit fed up with painting everything yellow as well, so.
Yeah. No, it was like, yeah.
Bit of variation never does any harm.
Exactly. I mean, I've got one more Rossi bike tribute that I'm doing, and that's going to have the full-blown ultra bright yellow on it, and then that'll be it then. So I'm doing that trio of bikes as my last range of 112 bike builds for a while. See.
Oh yeah, is that your bike stash done then?
Yeah, that'll be. Well, I've got 7 bikes down there left now.
Cool.
So, and I'm just building to thin me stash down a little bit because, you know, I'm fortunate enough where people send me kits and I'm conscious when I haven't actually built them. I get a bit worried that they're going to think I don't appreciate their generosity. So I go on a splurge and try to binge build all of the gift builds and that to try to, you know, just be respectful.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. I've got a kit in my stash from many, many years ago that I need to do at some point.
Yeah.
Sinanju that was very kindly sent to me that I've not done yet.
Yeah, so I just think it's nice. So.
Yep.
I've got a couple of cars. I've got one that Dan Kramer sent me over that is a full vignette build. Yep. So yeah, I wanna try and start that in the background at some point. Obviously, I've got the huge Jaguar that I'm doing in the background. I'm filming that, so yeah, it's a lot easier to film it than it is to live stream it because I'm jostling it about on this microscopic bench.
Yeah, well, plus it's that kind of paint job you can't really stream anyway.
So yeah, and again, it's just getting through the stash in it because
Yep. I've still got B3 Steve's land speeder to paint.
Yeah.
Scratch built land speeder that I need to paint.
Oh, absolutely. I've got a shed ton of Warhammer that's all built now. That's ready to go, so I haven't got to worry about that.
Nope.
Obviously, the big tank for A-Models. I've got various kits on the go still, which is ideal in some ways because, like I say, I have one that's ready for primer, so I can prime it, or one that's ready for top coat, one that's ready for the decal stage, and one that's ready for weather it. So if I'm having a bit of a bad time, I can go for easier options, good, better, best. You know what I mean? So
yeah, and if it gets to a point, where if you have a little while where you can't stream for something, then but you can still be at the bench, then you can just film painting.
Exactly. So that's what the Warhammer stash is there for, purely and simply, so that I could just film the how I painted this and at least do something. So
because painting on a stream is
not the easiest.
Tricky. Well, I mean, for the viewer, I suppose it's more. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't watch a live stream painting to be learning how to paint. I'd be watching it to listen to the conversation and everything else.
Well, this is it. It was great when I was doing the base layers for Harlequins, but now I want to do the more detailed stuff. That is a serious film bit, because you're coming into the hyper detail stage now, and you want it right. And like anything, we get distracted on the live streams and stuff and goon around, and you can't be doing that when you're doing that type of paint job. So
no, if you're doing like I'm painting these little details now, I can't really keep stopping to interact with the chat all the time. So that's why building is quite good on live streams, but painting on a live stream is like, if you can just lightly paint stuff or do weathering, it's a lot easier, or a lot better, I should say, for the viewer.
Base coats in its base colours.
Yeah, base coats.
Really bog standard, isn't it?
Stuff. Yeah, because at the end of the day, when we're doing this kind of thing, me and Colin both know that we have to think about what we can do on a stream, but what we can also do that doesn't mean we're just sitting there. Because there's nothing worse. And I've watched these things. You go on Twitch, somebody doing a live stream where they're painting something, and they might be doing a beautiful paint job, but first of all, it's on a webcam, so you can't really see.
Yeah.
And second of all, the camera's usually about half a mile away or in orbit, which is even worse. You can't see anything. And then they never talk to the audience, and it's like, why are people watching this? They're not, they're not reading the chat. They're not responding. It's like,
us two then not reading the chat.
Well, but we are having a conversation, and the people are listening to that. So when it's just one person streaming and they're just painting a thing and not interacting with the chat at all, it's like, I'm not going to stick around and watch this. It's boring. I can't see what you're doing, and you're not interacting with chat. So, Colin and I are always very conscious about what we're actually doing on a live stream.
Well, we want to try to switch it out. That's my main thing, Yeah. Do folks want to sit there watching me work for 15 to 20 weeks on a particular build? I just like to switch it out a bit, because
nothing wrong with that.
It keeps people entertained. It's something different, And I normally think if something goes 6 shows, it's getting stale. I'm like that with the big E-Models tank. But it's such a big kit that I have to put that mantra to bed on it, because, it
people
is a
see
big
every
build.
step of that, don't they?
Exactly. And I've had people reach out and say, you're not going to jump too far ahead because we're enjoying the step-by-step bit. But that's what E-Models is. That's how we do our builds for them. So
it's a bit different for, like you say, like for special things like that. You don't really want to jump strips there. If it's just building a Tamiya tank like every other, or whatever that people can build easily, then
a shake and bake, But no, it's one of them, It's you build to what your requirements are. The E-Model stuff, dare I say it, is more instructional, isn't it? Because you are catering for perhaps potentially a lot of first-time modelers that are doing that scale. So we bear that in mind. People in the chat, they're experienced modelers, but with the E-Models stuff, you do try to take into account that it could be anyone that's watching that has just bought their first model kit. I've seen a massive, great big tank, and have gone, I want to learn how to build this. So it's perfect for that.
Yeah, plus as well, of course, it's almost like, we're advertising a product that E-Model sells. It's like, come to us, buy it from us, and then you can watch the videos how to build it and paint it. So it's that kind of extra dimension to the E-Model stuff.
If it was our own channel, then you wouldn't have any of the sprue cutting stuff or sanding or anything like that, because you take it for granted that majority of people know that anyway. But if you're a noob, you don't know that.
No. I mean, we do have the advantage that I think with, a lot of our streams, we know that for a lot of the times people just come along just to hang out with us, which is like, so we can do, if we want to, the sprue cutting and things like that, because it doesn't, to a certain degree, it doesn't really matter what we're doing on camera. It does depending on the kit, but if it's just a bog standard kit, like Col says, like, you know, a shake and bake, it doesn't really matter because nobody's watching that. You know, if I'm building a Tamiya 135th Panzer IV from 1975, nobody really cares.
I mean, if I hadn't have hit the live button, I'd be sitting there doing this anyway, so...
Yeah.
For me, it's just doing this, but chatting with me mates and chilling out and having a giggle, you know. But
yeah, it keeps you off the street corners, for which we should all be grateful.
And I'm filming this anyway, so you know it'll go up as its own video at some point. I need to because I've got like 1.5 terabytes at the moment of unedited footage. That's a lot of footage.
Oh no.
For all different builds that I've been doing, so I'm on a splurge at the moment of editing.
Yeah.
Get your quote ready. Hi, Festa and Fox, PJ, Jeff, Adeptus, and all in chat. Yes, folks, we are graced with the company of our very own, he says, padding this out.
I'm ready, I'm waiting.
Model making Carl Sagan, folks. Jeff at Candygram for Mongo is in. Big how doodly, Jeff.
Consider again that dot. That's here. That's home. That's us. On it, everyone you love, everyone you know, everyone you've ever heard of, every human who ever was, lived out their lives. The aggregate of our joy and suffering, thousands of confident religions, ideologies, and economic doctrines. And I'll leave it there because it goes on for another 2 minutes.
There you go.
I could sit and read the whole pale blue dot. I'd love to, but I don't want to.
PJ's burnt his mouth on a hot sausage roll. I knew it was hot when I took it out of the oven, but I still managed to burn myself because, I'm stupid. Welcome to the world of blokiness, mate.
Yeah.
I am that man who leant on the oven on the hot rink. She's got one of these shiny black cooker things that's, there's no visible hobs. And I'm leaning on it whilst I'm chatting to her. Then I did the full-blown Michael Flatley bit. And she's like, oh, by the way, she said, that oven is on.
Yeah, I can never, ever have a hob like that. I need a hob that has obvious rings and things, because if you give me a hob that looks like a surface, I'll just,
Oh, yeah.
We are the kind of bloke that will burn our hand on the hob and then just to test it, we'll try our other hand.
Yeah.
Is it that hot though? Is it? Yes, it is.
It's when you're like, I mean, how many blokes still touch the hot water pipe just to make sure their heating's on? But don't just do it quickly. We grabbed our pipe until we get a 3rd degree burn. It's like, the heating is on, love.
How many blokes out there, and hands up if you do this, normal common sense would say turn the hot tap on and the cold tap and then reduce the cold tap. But what I do is I turn the hot tap on and then I go and then I wait till the water's too hot and then I turn the cold tap on.
Yeah.
I don't know why I do that, because it's a really stupid way to do it.
Yeah.
It's like, don't ever put me in charge of anything that involves temperatures or chemicals or anything.
Yeah, Helen does the temperature on the shower for me because... I had a burn down my back where I had basically fired the shower on maximum hotness and just stood there and did my business sort of thing. And she's like, your back is red raw. And I went, is it? She said, you didn't turn the cold water on, did you? I said, no, I just spun it round. Oh, for God's sake, she said,
We've got the situation we've got here is because we've only got 2 radiators in this house, and just don't ask. So we have to crank up the heat in the winter to get the house nice and warm. But because one of the downstairs radiators isn't working, we need a power flush, and we've been chasing British Gas since November. We've now finally got it booked for March, just after we need the 2nd radiator to be working. But anyway, so we've had to turn the heating up to get as much heat out of the one radiator that does work and the one downstairs that vaguely works as we can. But that means, of course, then the water temperature's a lot more.
Yeah.
So it's like, if I need to go and have a shower and stuff, I have to go into the boiler and turn the heat all the way down again. It's like,
Oh, that might be.
Because it's like a temperature control for the hot water, basically, and the
You've not got a freeway valve on there, then, that can moderate that?
No, it's literally, it just goes from, like, I get offline.
Goes from cold to nuclear in milliseconds,
Yeah, but it's like, it's just changing the temperature on the boiler, but it's a global change for the radiator and the hot water, really, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's like, It's not the end of the world because I've got it on about 75 degrees at the minute. Normally we have about 60, 65.
Yeah.
The gas man said, yeah, you really want it around about 60 to 65 just to kill any bacteria. So lower than that is bad, but, 75 is fine. But it just makes the hot water a bit hotter, which is a bit annoying.
Yeah,
especially when you forget getting the shower and you're like, oh.
Yeah. So H now she fires it up and goes, yeah, it's just at the right temperature. In you go, mate. Go on. Because I don't have that sensation in me back because obviously it's been surgically messed about with so much that your actual sensation nerve-wise is quite severely reduced. So
yeah, you're not running on full steam there, are you, with the sensation?
No, so it's caught me out more than once, and and H goes like, yeah, thank good.
No, but at least you know.
Exactly. So, and I'm also under strict instructions only to shower when her and Lex are at the house.
Well, that makes sense.
Because of falling, yeah. Yep. I'm lucky I've got a seat in there, but it's still the fact that you're going in and out, And
yeah, I know you've got a wet room and stuff, haven't you? But
we've got a full wet room, but like I say, still got slippable surfaces with the tiles. Yeah, our bathroom is an all-in wet room. As soon as you open the door and close it, it seals, and it's a.
See, our bathroom's a wet room. That's only because we've got a crappy shower curtain.
Yeah, that's what we did there.
You see what I did there?
I did. I'm actually really proud of that.
You're actually mildly impressed, aren't you?
I am, yeah. Yeah. Gone all grown up on me.
Don't insult me like that. How very dare you? How very dare you?
Well, dare you say that I'm a grown up? Yeah.
Well, this bit of the dude is so hard to get to. I'm not even convinced it's got primer on it.
Oh, really?
It's like, I can't tell if it's like primer grey or just the original resin grey. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah.
Oh well, we'll find out when all the paint falls off. Right, I'm going to step away for a moment.
Yeah, no worries. I'll do a bit of chat in a sec. Just want to cut this off. I'll get rid of that and do the same the other side. Trying to secrete the nippers in without sponging it all because, I'll have a little lookykins at the chat in a sec, folks. I haven't forgotten you. It's just I'm easily distracted. Just cut that off. There you go. And then we can get rid of all, excuse me, all of those nubbins. What have we got? John Christmas is in saying hello. He says, hope you're all well. Hello, John. How you doing, mate? Excuse me, it's clear my throat. That's better. Peachy says that's bacon and sausages in the oven and a right craving for some greasy sarnies. Oh, yeah. Bacon and sausage pita breads, mate, is my thing. In a pita, loads of brown sauce, bit of English moutarde along the top, mate, and chow down on that bad boy, mate. You get proper brown sauce and mustard streaks, mate, in your beard. Great fun. Jeff saying hello to PJ. Good to see you as always. Hope all is well. Absolutely. Sentiments exactly. Doing good. He says, hope you're well. Jake is saying me, I touch red hot radiators when I've been out in freezing cold weather and coming because I'm that cold. I touch the radiator and scream. Absolutely. Peachy says, I'll put my hand in pans to see if they're hot. My worst one is I'm allowed to press the pingage button on the microwave to warm me dinner up. But what I tend to do is immediately the microwave goes off, I'm eating. And Helen's always telling me off, saying, look, you've got to let it stand. You've got to let it blah, blah, blah. Because I then burn the inside of my mouth and then I end up with blisters in the roof of my mouth and along the side of my gums because that is, just me. I'm useless. So she's forever nagging me about that one. It's like if I was to do a ping burger, especially when I'm left home alone. Got 4 days home alone soon, PJ. Oh, think of the damage I can do in here. I will cook the Rustler's burger, but literally I'm eating it as soon as the doors open on the microwave, and it's like, yeah. That's my biggest thing that I don't do properly, so... Jake says, couldn't do that one. Scale modelling, yes. It's one of them, mate. We all do silly things, don't you think? Oh, yeah, just check to see whether that's hot. Yeah. I used to have a habit, I'd be under the car to do a service. Of course, bearing in mind, I fired the car up to warm the oil slightly just so that it drains out a bit easier. And of course, when you go to drain the coolant, yeah, you know full well no matter how you drain it, it will get you. But we always tend to forget, yeah, the engine's been running, it is going to be a bit warm. That caught me out a couple of times. That when it was, yeah, I don't need namby-pamby welding gloves. Yeah, that was fun.
I'm back.
Yeah, I soon went out and bought a pair when I had multiple weld burns across the... I used to always go right down in the groove of me fingers, or they would roll down the front of me boot between the laces, right down into the top of your foot. So you'd have molten weld trying to eat its way through your foot. That used to be fun. Ooh. And I got asked by Baldrick once why I always had duct tape around the arms and legs of my boiler suit when I welded. And I said to him, grab the torch, lay under there and weld that for me. Really? Oh, great. He said, I've always wanted to do this. And I could hear him under there going, oh, oh. And when he come out with 15 holes in his T-shirt and bright red hands, I said, now you know why I put the gaffer tape around the boiler suit, mate. Yeah. Good old Baldrick.
He didn't ask again.
Bless him. A legend in his own right. Not the most engineeringly astute chap, don't get me wrong. But it's like anything. Everyone has their good things that they're brilliant at. And Baldrick, I've never come across anyone, myself included, that can do bodywork as good as that guy used to.
Yeah. You
gave him, you know, a load of wet and dry buffing pads and whatever. That guy could shine a diamond in a goat's arris, mate. I'm telling you. Unbelievable. I've never been, you know, I've never come across someone that would prep a body shell, especially after it's been welded up and smoothed out and had the lead ingot on it and all of that lot. He would body plane it. It would come back unbelievable, ready for paint, and yeah, never come across the bloke that was able to do that like him.
That is a certain skill, that, and it, especially like filling in holes and shapes with lead, because that's not something you see very often anymore.
Exactly. I mean, I was lucky. I was taught all of this by a guy that was a coach builder down at Aston Martin.
Yeah.
So when I did my apprenticeship with him, I turned up with a big box and it had isopon fillers in and all of that lot, mesh, fiberglass. And he looked at me and said, what's in the bag, boy? I said, fiberglass filler, you know, P38, P40. He said, no, you don't need none of that. He said, and he slung a lead ingot on the table and a blowtorch. I'll teach you old school.
Yep.
And that was it. And I was blessed to have that induction, because that's what I used to do with the cars. I'd weld them up and then I would do any adjustments with the lead ingot, and then you could body plane it. So then Baldrick then could do his thing.
Yeah. We had a go at it when we were doing some body work for stuff. We studied up on it and did a little bit of it. And it certainly is a skill that you have to learn. You can't just do it. No. We did all right, but it took a long time for us to figure it out. Yeah. I was no good at it. The other guy was pretty good at it. I gave it a go. I wasn't great.
Yeah.
It's all forgotten now, of course. But yeah, it's you can see where it's like you can just about get away with it, or you can do it properly. It's
oh yeah. Yeah, it's a skill to learn. And I do think that you get a better result, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
You get a far greater result, and yeah, it's worth the effort. But again, something that's dying, isn't it? You don't see it done now.
No. It's all faster and more efficient stuff nowadays, cheaper.
Replace the panel, innit, or replace the vehicle. You know, that's the mentality now. Which is a shame, I think, because it's the younger generation that are missing out. Because, you know, there are fellas and women out there that would have the talent to do all these sort of jobs and be absolutely brilliant at them. And I think that they're just, I
think it's all down to the change of, you know, it's changing from the days when you buy a brand new car and it was basically a tin box with a crappy engine and it was like, you know, a Ford Fiesta or something, or a Ford Cortina. It was it was expensive at the time, but you knew it was going to fall apart and you could do stuff like that. But nowadays it's also complex and multi-part and polymer based. It's like you can't do all that stuff.
You need
yourself.
a laptop just to change a key code. It's like, really? What's that all about?
But you go back 40 years when everybody's car was just a tin box. Yeah, you put a dent in it. Yeah, you can beat a panel, beat it back out again. There you go.
Oh, yeah. You'd be there with your panel beating hammer and dolly. Boom, 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 boom. Tap, a tap, tap. There you go. Dents out. Now they just unbolt 6 bolts, take the wing off, throw it in the bin and put a new one on.
I mean, I don't want to scare you, Cole. I don't want to scare you, but you know, you might want to brace yourself. But even when I was younger, used to have a little Mark II Ford Fiesta.
Yeah.
Even I was able to like strip the engine down, get the, you know, the what's the spinny thing with the little teardrop shaped bits, the crankshaft and everything out of it. Get the camshaft out, get all that out, clean, because it was all, I just cleaned it all, basically stripped it all down and cleaned it, get it good scrubbing and
camshaft,
sanding and stuff.
Yeah.
And this is me we're talking about.
Wow, I'm so proud of you, you know.
Because they were like,
tools
you know,
and everything, eh?
Well, it had some pitting on the engine block just under where, you know, the seal goes, the gasket.
Yeah.
Which meant that if it got damp, it would struggle to start. And they said, well, you can't really do anything about that. It's just kind of knackered. I said, but you'll have to get a new engine. He says, but what you could do, he says, it's such an old engine, it's so knackered, strip it down and just get all the crap off out of the piston.
Yeah, give it a decoat,
chambers and stuff. Yeah. So I literally just went out one day, on cold winter's day, which was a stupid idea. Got the bonnet open, got some really crappy wrenches that I had, took it all apart, took the crankshaft out, cleaned it all out.
So
I sat there in the garden cleaning my crankshaft in the and it was like, ooh, look at me.
Look at you with your big boyness, eh?
Yeah. So that's how simple cars were in those days. See, when I got my Land Rover, the idea of that was it would be simple for me to maintain. But by that point in my life, that kind of, you know, when you're younger and you have a kind of laissez-faire attitude where you're like, let's just try it.
Yeah, you have What's
you get
the
older,
worst that could happen mode, isn't it?
Yeah, as you get older, that kind of, in a lot of people, especially me, that kind of mentality fades away, and now you're like, oh, I don't know if I can do that.
Yeah.
That unfortunately took hold, and that's when I stopped doing that kind of thing.
Your own self-confidence prevents you from doing them sort of things. PJ says, what, you? 4 days alone? I might need to come down to your gaffer to supervise. Yes, mate. 4 whole days. Yeah. That means that Cal will be coming round and checking up on me, but...
Yeah, every day.
But, yeah. It was the way that she announced this the other day, and she said, I don't really know whether I should be pre-warning you of this, but you're going to be left to your own devices for 4 days. I was like, yes. Inside I'm going, yes. First thing I thought of, kitchen, buttons, appliances, all the lights, all the noises, I'm in heaven. Yeah.
Do you know what really amuses me about this is, right, it's a house... with a mother, a father, and there's a, you know, not young son, but, you know, your lad's in his 20s.
30 in August,
yeah. And for most people, when somebody goes away, the concern would be for the young 30-year-old lad being given the house. Like, what's he going to do now? He's got parties and have wildness and all kind of. But it's like, no, in your house, it's the father that's the problem.
Yeah, it's me that's the child, mate. My children grew up years ago and matured. Me,
Yeah.
I'm still 5, mate.
The weak point in that family is the father figure.
Oh, absolutely.
Can't be trusted. Don't leave him near anything electrical.
I stand by my weakness, mate, because I am useless.
Yeah, you stand by your weakness because you've got no choice. She'd tell you off if you didn't.
Yeah.
You can't deny it.
Happy days.
See, you'd be a psychologist nightmare because you can't. They say, stop denying this about yourself, and you're like, I can't deny it. If I get denied, I get told off.
Exactly. I can't deny it because it's all true, mate. It's like happy days.
I can't deny anything because, you know.
I'm not allowed to deny it.
No. It's like you say, if you walked into a police station, you'd confess to everything, even though you'd done nothing.
Yeah. Damn right.
It's like you've developed Catholic level guilt without actually being a Catholic or having done anything to be guilty about.
I take it to a whole new level, mate.
Yeah. Catholics look at you jealously.
So they should.
Yeah.
Colours are all of these.
He's tricky to get to his belt buckle, but there you go. It's a very slow process doing these leather straps. They're quite delicate and hard to get to. Definitely not sure if I'd make more of these guys because it's a bit of a pain painting this stuff.
Bit of a pain round the old Harris, is it, mate?
Well, it's not a pain. It's just, it's slow and it's frustrating when you're painting something and you want to get to the fun bits and you're stuck on the slow bits.
Don't want to put them in. Not yet, because that is all engine and doohickey, and I want to prime that out of the car. So I want to prime that out of the car. Ching.
That sounded like a removal noise to me.
No, it's just me trying to plan ahead.
Whoa. Steady now. Steady, Neris.
Yeah, show me on the dolly where the planning beat you.
Know your limits.
Exactly. So we'll get that in. Probably get all of the arches in as well. Underneath the Cheers.
Cheers.
God, that's been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been letting you all down with our non-archisness.
I think you've done it with other people, but it's not quite the same when it's not me and you.
I tried doing it on the Sunday show with Dave, and I done it on my own. I just got nothing, mate. I got nothing.
Dave,
I'm like,
Dave doesn't understand.
Like, come on, Dave, you let me down there, mate.
It's our one joke. Come on, you should know it by now.
It's like, bowed miserably. It's like, note to self, don't do that again on the Sunday show.
Yeah. It's like, come on, you've got one line. You need to learn.
Bless him. Dave knows what he's like.
Well, it's hard to shop on Amazon and do, and sing out at the same time.
Yeah, it's like, Dave, put the keyboard and mouse away. We're live.
It's just funny because he's got like the loudest mouse in the world.
Yeah, it's a bit like your keyboard, isn't it? It's like,
No, nothing's like my keyboard.
It is. Your keyboard is unique, mate. It is the world's most annoying keyboard.
If my microphone wasn't actually attached to the same desk as the keyboard, it probably wouldn't sound quite as loud. Here he goes.
The list of excuses is
about to happen. It still would be loud. No excuses. Just stating facts.
Yeah. Yeah. It's when he would get the sanders out. And it's like, Dave, what? Do you want to do that right under the microphone? Yeah, all right, mate. It's like, irony, Dave, come on. Don't ever change. If you're watching this back, Dave, don't change. It's what makes him him. Bless him. They broke the mould.
He broke something. Bless him.
Exactly. Do it. See? Lee is in saying hi. Hello, Lee. How you doing, mate? It's a good stream.
Thank you, Lee.
Colin, he says, where did you get the covers from for the cutters? They come with them, mate. These are God-hand nippers, mate. They come with these covers, mate.
Yes. Yes.
However, I'm right in thinking that if you go on the KA.Models, they may sell these covers on their own.
Yes, you can buy them just by themselves, because some of the clippers don't come with them. Not some, not those three, but the other ones. You can buy them as a standalone product.
So, yeah, I find them convenient to slip them on. Because I'm clumsy. You might have noticed this. And, you know, if anyone's going to drop something off their bench, it's going to be me. And they're a precision implement at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
So treat them well and they will look after you. So,
oh, yes.
It's one of them. I like to get into the habit of putting the covers. Oh, no. Put covers on when you're using them, and I also oil them as well.
See, I'm a little disappointed that you don't have one of those, like, pinboard things with all the silhouettes of your tools on, that you put your tools back on.
No, on the wall. I'm dead against them. They're a burglar's dream, mate.
Ah.
Because when you've had a workshop that gets raided,
it tells them what you've got.
It tells them all the tools. They just walk along, go click, 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 put them all in a bag and go. Yeah. That's why I'm a snap-on lock-in toolbox person, mate. Because once bitten, twice shy.
I always said Colin was a snap-on.
There you go. Yeah, that's what I use for the nippers. A little bit of God-hand oil, folks.
We used to make our snap-on tools guy, because we used to use a lot of snap-on tools and stuff. He used to regularly turn up. We used to make him really angry because we call him a strap-on tool. But don't call me that. Like, sorry, we're going to. Now you don't like it. We're going to keep calling it.
Yeah. Now you've said it's a problem. You realise that that ain't never going to change.
Ain't never going to change, boy. That's your name now.
But yeah, they're a good handy thing to have, the nippers.
Mm-hmm.
I do like them.
I can't do that kind of southern drawl accent without wanting to put the word deputy on the end of every sentence.
Yeah, I see what it is.
That's your name now, deputy. You take those Peggies down.
Yeah.
Goddamn Peggies.
Watch the YouTube. I'm going to send you the link for it later.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes it's early doors, and we all do this. You go searching YouTube for something to watch, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I stumbled across the video on YouTube, and it was a pastor. And he was analysing all the Joseph Seed scenes from Far Cry.
All right.
Looking for all the religious bits that may or may not have been slightly wrong. And I'm like, dude, really? What part of it's a game? It ain't real. He's a character. Do you not understand?
Oh, there's loads of analysis and stuff like that. It's
and it's like, really?
Some of them are fascinating because, like, I've watched a few of them, especially for Far Cry 4. And one of the analyses in Far Cry 4 was proper, like, deep, looking into all the complexities of the story. And it's like, wow, this story is actually a lot deeper than anybody actually thought, than you ever really thought.
Oh, yeah.
So 5 is, like, insane.
Yeah, does make you wonder, doesn't it?
The thing that blew my mind, and I've said it before and I won't do any spoilers, but there's a bit in the game where a character does something, but the game does exactly the same thing to you as the player, and you don't realise it until it's happened, and you go, because you play the game thinking, how could this person fall for this? It's so obvious, but the game's actually doing it to you as well, and you don't realise.
Exactly.
And you're like,
Now the biting makes sense, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, a lot of people dismiss those Far Cry games, but when you look at the depth in some of them, it is amazing, the effort they put into them.
Oh, yeah.
I love them. I don't like any other Ubisoft games, but Far Cry, I think they're great.
I think they got the mix just right, didn't they?
Yeah, a lot of people say it's a tired old formula now. It's like, well, it's still fun, and it was fun at the start, and it's still fun. I like it.
That's the thing. As long as it's fun.
Mm-hmm. I happily accept Vass's definition of insanity, and I accept it. You'll find out when you play Far Cry 3.
It will happen, dear.
What that means. Did I ever tell you the definition of insanity?
It'll happen at some point.
Yeah, it's all there for you in the future.
It very nearly did this week, but...
Ooh! Very nearly is good.
I am due rewards because I did do quite a bit of filming this week. So.
Yes, you were going to reward yourself on Tuesday, weren't you? But other things came to pass.
Real life, mate, isn't it? Story of my life, isn't it? So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Just means you stack up more rewards.
Exactly.
To redeem it at a later date.
It's that mistake again of saying, yeah, I'll do that Tuesday. I've got a day that I can bear. Yeah.
Yeah. You'll learn not to plan things.
Yeah, but I'm not intelligent enough to plan things, am I?
Neither of us are. No, for you, when you plan things, it always goes wrong and
always goes Pete-tong, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Should sit on there quite happily doing its thing.
Wow, I'm still managing to paint everything except the leather straps at the minute. It's quite fantastic.
Oh, I'm proud of you, soldier.
It's quite interesting to watch. I'm getting paint on everything except the thing that needs the paint. That's where touching up comes in.
Yeah, don't do that too often, though, because you get arrested.
Yeah, that's true. You get them special orders from the court, don't you?
Let's just double check that for fitment.
We know people.
We know all the people, mate.
We know people who know exactly what those orders are.
Oh, yes.
You are hereby banned from canals forever.
Just hold that in place and lever that over. That's it. There it is. Peaches loves her God hand nippers. Yes, you won a set, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, how have you been finding them? Because he had never used God hand before. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to find out how you've been finding them and getting on with them, mate.
Yeah. What did you do in the blue ones, the SPN 120s, or the red ones? Blue ones, wasn't it?
Blue ones, yeah.
What a prize. What a prize.
Got to be in it to win it.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day. And win it he did.
All right. And how?
Oh, yeah, definitely. You will go in. There you go. Happy days. Not the greatest of dry fits, but it'll do for now.
Such a scruffy paint job.
About it, mate. As long as you're happy, that's all that matters.
Oh, it's just getting the leather painted. I'll touch up all the blue stuff later. It doesn't matter about the scruffiness, but it's
you'll get told off for that.
My neatness gene is going but it knows it'll be cleaned up. It's difficult to be scruffy deliberately.
Yeah, but we have a good go at it.
Yeah. Your brain rebels against it.
Exactly. That's the thing, innit?
Yeah.
We'll do it when we start doing a bit of weathering. It just goes against everything, doesn't it? And it's like, yeah.
I mean, I hate the bit of the painting where it looks like garbage because you've not done all the weatherings, the washes and stuff.
Yeah.
I hate that bit when it's just the base colours and it looks like absolute bish. Looks like you painted it with a 5-year-old and a dead cat or something. It's like, oh, I hate that stage. It's so disheartening.
Oh, yeah. Gets
Even though
us
you
all
know
there.
yeah, even though you know it's going to pass and it'll get better, it'll look great when it's just like you still sit there and go, I've painted it with half a potato. I need to go and hide in shame. When I was doing that Adeptus Sororitas for Nim's tribute build, that little figure.
Yeah.
When I first put all the base colours on that on her, God, it looked terrible. I was like, I was ashamed. I was depressed about it. I was like, it looks terrible. I've done a terrible job, and it's an important thing. Then I stuck with it and carried on. It came good. I'm like,
That's the thing, isn't it? Is getting past that itty bitty stage, isn't it?
Yep. And that was the toughest one I've ever had of that, because that was obviously an important build as well. So
yeah. Bless her. We missing him.
Yeah, it'll be her birthday in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. Bless her heart. It was a shock.
Mm-hmm. Cup of tea, swig of tea, swig of tea. E-bike.
It's a good shirt, actually. E-bike, Fred. Do you like that?
Happen this right. Hey, did you hear that Peachy, Peachy, remember Peachy and Duncan on Warhammer TV? Peachy went off, left Games Workshop and went to do the painting phase.
Yeah.
Apparently he's left the painting phase now and he's starting up his own channel. Or rather he has, it's not apparently, he is doing that. He's left the painting phase. Started up his own channel. So I put a little comment on the on his first video. And at one
you're
point
such a fanboy.
No, I think it's great. Him and Duncan are awesome. But at one point I said, by the way, you should try Barry's tea and get rid of all that Yorkshire tea nonsense. And he put a smiley and said Yorkshire tea nonsense. Because he drinks like litres of tea every day.
Yeah.
I'm kind of hoping it is Yorkshire tea because that's what I remembered it was.
Nothing wrong with drinking tea.
No, unless it's Yorkshire tea, in which case, ugh.
Yeah, but in your world, everyone should have what you have and do what you do. It's like, yeah.
No, I'm just saying I can't stand Yorkshire tea. It's horrible. I don't mind PG so much, although it's not very good. Barry's is great, but Yorkshire tea, ooh. Yeah. Dinging. But my sister-in-law, her parents live in Hull.
All right.
And I said to my sister-in-law, I said, you have to get him to try Barry's tea, see what they think. And she went, oh, God, no, I can't do that. I said, if you ever give them anything apart from Yorkshire tea, they just disown you and kick you out of the house. And it's like, really? She said, yeah. She said, the only way I could do it was to not let them know I was giving them a cup of Barry's tea.
Yeah.
And then see if they noticed. Apparently, if it's not Yorkshire tea for them, then you're just disowned and you have to leave.
Yeah, my mum was an avid PG tipser, and it's like, yeah.
So I'm not a tea fanatic. I just like tea at the moment.
Yeah, H likes getting all the different blends and that, but she's like that with coffee, so...
Yeah.
She's a bit like Spiddy with coffee. She's proper into it, and yeah.
Yeah, I'm really a coffee drinker, but I've got to, keep my blood pressure sorted and stuff, so I can't binge like 10 cups of coffee a day anymore. So maybe a couple of cups of tea and some water all day.
I don't drink coffee at all for that reason.
Yeah. I was also struggling with sleep as well, so I kind of... At the moment, because it's cold and wintry, I'll have a cup of coffee in the morning when I get up, and then I'll just be a couple of cups of tea throughout the day, and then I'll just drink water for the rest of the day. But, oh God, Yorkshire tea, ugh.
Obviously, me tea, I got energy orange over there that has got, various bits and pieces in it just to keep everything up and running. So... Mm-hmm. And I do a bottle of that a day, that orange, because it's got all the vitamin stuff in it as
Vitamins,
well.
Electrolytes and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so, each does a little concoction and that's it. And keeps you going, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
especially at our age, because you don't metabolize like you once did. So if you do eat a lot, you're not going to get rid of the weight. I've only got to look at the fridge, and I need to add an extra hole to my belt.
Yeah.
So yeah, we don't metabolize like we did, but also we don't digest like we once did. So all the bad stuff does stay in you a lot longer.
Oh god, yeah. Long gone are the days when I could have a big filthy kebab an hour before bedtime, and then just go to bed and sleep like a baby, and not at any point have like acid or indigestion or anything like that.
Yeah, a bit of reflux.
Yeah, nowadays if I have anything like that, 8 hours before I go to sleep, I still have that acid in the middle of the night. I'm like, oh god.
Yeah. Yeah, I tend to prop myself up on multiple pillars for that reason.
One thing I've learned, I didn't know this, but if you get acid and reflux and stuff like that, if you tend to sleep on your right hand side, sleep on your left hand side.
Yes.
Because all the fluids go the other way, and it's like, ah. And I tried it, I'm like, my God, it actually works.
One of the first things they say when you get acid reflux, sleep on the other side for a few days. It'll pass.
I mean, I don't know if I've got it. I just get a lot of acid sometimes. So I read some things. It said, yeah, just turn on to your left-hand side. It'll make it go away. Okay.
Yeah, you've been doctor diagnosing on the internet again, haven't you, dear?
No, I just said, just basically I get a lot of acid. And so what is it? It said it could just be an unhealthy diet, could be reflux, could just be you're old, and just don't worry about it.
My sister used to do that. Used to go on to the internet, and it's like, yeah, you don't want to be doing that. I stopped her doing it when she was looking at liver transplants, because obviously that's what she was facing.
Oh, God, no.
I said, you don't need to be watching the operation, darling. Come on, switch that off. Don't be doing that no more.
No.
You're telling me off. Yes, I am.
Yes. I sometimes look stuff up, more than anything, just to reassure myself that whatever it is I've got is just nothing.
Yeah.
I'm like, you've got a bit of acid. Okay, cool. I'll stop.
Do you convince yourself then that if you get a bit of trap wind that you're having a coronary? You do, don't you?
No.
Yeah. Oh, all right.
No, I'm not that bad. I'm not.
Kill
not
that conversation then. Edward Leonard's in. He says, deflecting the subject. Hello, Cole and Fox and chat. What in the wild world of sports is going on with everyone?
Blazing Saddles reference. What in the wild? Well, that's 50 years old this year, I think.
John Christmas says, being from Hull myself, it has to be Yorkshire tea.
Yeah. My if it's my sister-in-law, are they my parents-in-law? Because they're not my parents-in-law. What are they to me?
Nothing.
They're just my sister-in-law's parents.
Yeah, because you're not married into them, are you?
No. I'd actually never thought of that before, what you call them, but...
Yeah, calling them by their names, mate, would be a start.
I actually don't know what the names are.
Oh, my God, really? How long have you... Yeah.
Well, this is the funny thing, you see. Because my brother's lived way down south for forever, and we don't really have any contact with her side of the family.
Yeah,
we never really have. So I can't even begin to remember. I can't remember. I think the last time I saw a father-in-law was like 25 years ago.
Yeah. For me, with my background and from where I'm from, everyone is known as geese or mate. Gets you out of a multitude of sins, folks.
Oh, yeah. Well, people wonder why I say dude a lot. It's because I don't know most people's names. Even when I do know the name, I don't know it.
Yeah, it's like, geese. And it's like, gets you out of the hole. It really does.
Oh, God, yeah. Or buddy or, mate.
Yeah. Like, mate. Yeah. I worked with a bloke. He said to me, the first day he started, said, the thing I hate most is when people call me mate. I said, that's all right, mate. I won't call you that then. Yeah. I was like, you're going to struggle with that mantra in here, mate. I said, because we're all from the smoke. I said, and it's a term of, just, how you doing, mate? Morning. It's...
Yep. Yeah. This is what we say. The thing is, I am truly terrible remembering names, so I tend to rely on it a lot. And it's even worse when it's like YouTube handles, like in chat. So I'll know people by the YouTube name, but I won't know what YouTube name that person actually is. So like Retro Rabbit, I know that's James.
Yeah.
Or, like Candygram, I know it's Jeff, but most other people, I'm like, I can't remember who each...
Yeah.
I have no idea. It's hard enough remembering one name for somebody.
That's why we carry our name and our YouTube handles on the live stream, because a lot of folks thought my name was actually Festa. And I was asked once about the unusual choice of naming that my mother used. And I was like, okay, what are they on about? And then it's like, I know what they're thinking.
Yeah.
But it's funny, very, very few people, only my mum calls me by my birth name.
Yeah.
Helen never calls me by my name, Colin. She always calls me Festa or other names that can't be broadcast because we're live.
It's weird. It's weird that I actually call you Colin more than, and I don't know why.
Yeah, my boys call me Festa. They don't call me by my birth name.
I should just call you Festa.
I was actually surprised when, they realised that the name I use online isn't my birth name.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, well, you know.
I don't know why I struggle to call you Festa. I just keep calling you Colin all the time. I don't know
That
why.
makes no odds, mate. Call me what you like, mate.
See, I've got the opposite problem, that people don't think that Fox is my real name. They're like, what's your real name?
The amount
That
of
is my real
people
name.
I've come across that called you Mike, haven't they?
Yeah.
And that's all because Facebook wouldn't recognise Fox Wolf as your real name. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, it thought I had a fictitious. It said, you must have a real name. You can't be an in-person. It's like, okay, well, here's my driving licence. No, we don't believe you. Okay, I'll just call myself Mike then.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So, no, it's that most people don't think it's actually my real name. They're like, what's your real name? That is my real name. What is...
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not showing you my driving licence, so...
No, that's right. That's right. You know, it's... Yeah. But yeah, my lads were quite surprised because obviously H had the marriage certificate out and all of that. And they're like, oh, you was married before then, Mum? She went, no. It's your dad. Yeah, but...
Your dad's name is actually Mavis Aberdeen.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, that's Dad's birth name. And that was it. I got the full Inquisition then. It's like, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I started getting called Festa way back when I was at school. Because I've always had very dark rings round my eyes. So that was where the mantra started. And then, of course, when I started shaving my head, it was full-blown Uncle Festa then, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then the uncle bit got dropped. And, yeah, it's been Festa ever since. So.
Would you describe yourself as more a raccoon or a panda?
Raccoon.
Raccoon.
Yeah, it's one of those. I had a badly broken nose after a bit of a shindig. And, you know, it was, you gave someone a raccoon, which was a broken nose, wasn't it? So, yeah, I would describe myself more as a raccoon, purely and simply because I busted it that many times that I'm now permanently a raccoon. So.
Also, you really can't trust him near your bins.
Yeah, but, yeah, so... it is one of those. You take your glasses off and people go, oh my God, your eyes dark. And it's like, yeah.
I get that sometimes when it's just a really dark round my eyes. I'm like, wow, I need to sleep more.
Yeah, it's like, yeah. Spot the insomniac. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, it is. Even the opticians, when you go for your eye test, they're like, God, your eyes are dark. You know. It's like, yeah, that's why they call me Festa, mate.
Just sit there and say, I am the night.
Yeah. I didn't do that. He was lost as a child, abandoned in the forest. Yeah.
I am the Grim Reaper.
Yeah. Start sleeping with one eye open.
Yeah, I don't know why I struggle to call you Festa. Because it's like, I've never known you as, obviously, as Colin. I've always known you as Festa, but I still call you... It's weird.
Yeah.
Me of all people that should struggle to do that.
Yeah.
I suppose it's because to me it'd be like calling me Guru all the time. It'd be like, yeah, well, that's stupid. So my brain's like, well, because it's a channel name. I must make the conscious
Edward
effort.
Leonard says you did change your name to Fox because you thought it was a good idea, though, didn't you? Yeah.
Some things did happen, yeah.
Edward says, what was your given name from your parents? Neither of us will disclose that.
Nope. None of your business.
Because, yeah. And it's nothing sinister to hide. It's just, you know, that's our real identity. You don't dish out your real identity, not in this age. So, yeah. I changed my surname years and years and years and years ago. But then for a number of years, I went under my mum's maiden name, which, again, I won't disclose. Fox
Basil Twiglet Smythe. Yes, of course we all know that.
But,
yeah, no, I did my surname first and then with my first name later.
Yeah, it's one of them. It's funny. It's in our family. I don't know why, but all the blokes go by their middle name, not their birth Christian name. Don't know why. It's just a thing. Charlie, my granddad, the spoon player, his real name was Stan.
He's now going to be Charlie Spoons to me forever. Charlie Spoons.
All I've got to say to you, Fox, is Pig.
Oh yeah, so it is Earth Pig.
Yeah, you messaged. I did respond to your message. Scroll up.
Oh, I did. Sorry, I didn't see the reply. I didn't see your reply to it. My apologies.
Yeah,
I was trying to tell Mum. I had to throw one out in the kitchen the other day, so I was trying to tell Mama Wolf that H calls them Earth Pigs, and I wasn't sure if it was Earth Pigs or House Pigs.
Yeah,
it's Earth Pigs, isn't it?
Earth Pigs, yeah.
I think I told her it was House Pigs. So I must correct. I must let her know.
I think it's the greatest name for a woodlouse ever because it sounds just sounds more friendly, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, it's like woodlouse. Sounds horrible.
Yeah.
Whereas Earth Pig makes it sound like some kind of little big water bear, big tardigrade type thing.
Edward says Hubert. Yeah, I had the little moustache as well, mate. But
yeah, Hubert Pantechnicon was his original.
Yeah, it's one of them, but it's quite funny because I can remember, me mum, she calls me by me birth name. It's mum's habit, isn't it? Mum's privilege. And I can always remember my boys going, "Is Nan getting a bit old? Why is that?" Because she never gets your name right. And I left it until I got to that point, and it was like, yeah.
It's actually funny because like the only person that calls me now by my birth name, is one of my friends who I knew. I went out with her before I changed my name. We didn't go out for long, but we stayed friends. So she knew me by my birth name. Everybody else in the world now doesn't call me by my birth name at all. Yeah.
I had a good friend of mine that I'd lost touch with because they emigrated, was trying to track me down. And of course, they just kept getting batted back, didn't they? It's like, and they tracked me down through Wilma, my sister, which again is not her real name.
Yeah.
I call my sisters Wilma and Betty out of the Flintstones, but yeah, he said, I've been trying to track you down for bloody years, mate. He said, well, why the name change? And I told him, and he went, oh, he said, makes perfect sense now, doesn't it? Yeah. He said, I thought it was you. He said, in that photo, he said, but you had hair when I last saw you, had lots of it. He said, I remember you had a mullet. I went, yeah, we don't discuss that.
Yeah, that's privileged information now.
And he was like, yeah, he said, finally. He said, now I know it's you. He said, blah, 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 so. Yeah, it's one of them. My brother's the same. He uses a different name.
Yep. Lots of different reasons to change your name.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Mama Wolf's like that. She was that generation where she goes by a middle name.
Yeah.
As a first name, which is good because like everybody in the world knows her as a middle name. But whenever she goes into hospital or talks to doctors and stuff, they obviously go off a record, so they call her by her first name. So she always knows when she's in trouble or she's speaking to a medical professional.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they call her by a first name.
Yeah, Helen's name on her driving licence is different to the name. So, yeah.
But to make it even more confusing with Mama Wolf, and I don't know why, she's got 2 birthdays.
She's the queen.
Well, yeah, she thinks it. She's got the actual birthday, and then she's got the birthday that the NHS know, which is the day before.
Right, yeah.
So it's like whenever I'm giving him, I'm like, hang on, what's the birthday? I'll give it's 24th. And, oh no, actually, hang on, no, it's the other day, isn't it? Which one have you got? Huh?
Yeah. So.
I said, why have you got? And she went, it's because I gave the date wrong once, and it stuck in the NHS, and now everybody's like, how do you give your birthday wrong, you idiot?
It's easily done. Yeah.
Like you got one job.
Yeah.
So now it's actually the point where I'm not actually sure which are proper. But it's a nightmare when I have to get her a birthday present. The number of years I've got her a birthday present and giving it to her on the wrong day.
On the wrong day, yeah.
Because like I thought this was it. No, this. Oh, god damn it, woman.
Yeah.
I don't know. Old people don't make any sense to me.
Yeah. It's quite funny when you get banded up to go to surgery and you've got that, you know, then checking your name and all of that lot, you know, and it's like, yeah. And I often look at age, I go, do I use my birth name when I'm in hospital? Of course, they look at you and they're like, okay, why is that? It's like, yeah. Yeah, it's quite
Right,
comical.
what's your name? Hang on, let me check with the missus.
Yeah, let's just go through my 35 passports, 15 driving licence and me go bag. Yeah.
What's your birth name? Can I get back to you on that, eh?
Just fun.
I've just dropped a paintbrush and it's just vanished into thin air, literally.
Yeah, because my boys were like, what about your grave then when that happens? I said, I'm getting scattered, mate. I said, so it makes no option. At the end of the day, I'm getting cremmed and scattered, mate.
Yep.
So just find somewhere nice. And, you know, if I go first, my ashes get kept until Helen goes. And then we just get put in a big sieve, mixed up and scattered together. I said, you take us where you think we'd want to go. And he said, I'd take Mum home to Findorn. I said, take me with her then, scatter us in Findorn.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. So
that sounds like something out of the Lord of the Rings, that Findorn, doesn't it?
Yeah. I said, so yeah, I'm cool with it. So quite a sinister, silly thing to talk about, really, but all the arrangements are done. Yeah. Done and dusted. Get on with life then, can't you?
Yeah, it's going to happen to all of us.
Exactly.
We all poop and we all drop off the twig.
Exactly that, mate. Let's just make sure that that's all round the right way. Happy days and all of that.
And the only thing that separates us is the amount of the one thing that you do when you do the other thing. And there you go. Exactly.
It's like anything. No matter how big your house is, how much money you got in the bank, your grave is the same size as everyone else's.
Yep.
So, yeah.
My mum would say we all poop out the same hole. Thanks, Mum.
Yeah, it's like, yeah. She's got a valid point, though.
Yeah.
There you go. And all of this will just get airbrushed the same colour, and then I'll go in with my detail brushes and brush paint everything, because I find that easier for me. Get your airbrushes here. Not one.
Pray for a pound.
Not one for a pound, not two for a pound, but three. Three for a pound. Right. Oh, that's interesting.
You found something. What have you found?
Actually, no, I haven't found it. Where did I put them?
There's like 6 different conversations just all happened in about 3 seconds there.
I know, this is the world and the brain. Well, I say the brain, but the world of Festa.
It's like, oh, didn't know about that. Where's that gone?
Yeah, it's like,
It's like watching Phil digging a trench. I'll have that. I'll have that.
Like,
that's right.
Yeah. Did he say cake?
Cake was there. Ooh.
I had a...
Whatever the question, the right answer is always cake.
I lost the sprue.
How do you lose a sprue?
Because
thank you.
Yeah, I am that bloke. F.
Well, it's a Revell kit, so it's either you've lost it or...
It may well not have been in there.
Yeah, it should be considered a possibility.
It's a distinct possibility.
No. It's only halfway through the build you realise this, of course, which is really annoying.
Oh, no, I spotted it.
Ah, good lad.
Yeah, it's because it's a different colour plastic. Why? Why is that a different colour plastic? Why? Part of the same suspension unit. Why is half of it dark grey and then the other half is that colour? That does not blend. Look.
No,
really?
That makes no sense at all. Unless it's just, that's whatever they had in the plastic hopper at the time and you just get that colour.
Yeah, it's like, there's me looking
Revell.
for dark grey gunmetal sprues. Damn it, Revell.
Oh, Revell, don't ever change.
Yeah, right.
Except, please do.
Drama is over now. Right. 25, let's do 25. I just did that, didn't I?
Did you just did that? Yeah, you just did that.
I'll cut that bit off and I'll have a quick lookykins at the chat then, so, because I've got to stand up at some point, so I might as well get that done. Because that'll be time.
Steady. Woo! That sounded like a tapir from Fallout for Far Cry 4. Oh. Far Cry 3. I feel like I need to hunt you and skin you now to make an ammunition belt or something.
Yeah, Festa won't be streaming today. Why is that? He got skinned by Fox.
He's been made into an ammunition belt.
That sounds so wrong, doesn't it? Yeah.
I can now hold 12 arrows.
I may have been having a perusal at the Far Cry Primal book this week as well, because, I know. Preparation and all of that lot.
Yeah.
Because you know what's going to happen? I am going to hit the ground running with this gaming lark. You won't see me for about 6 months.
No.
And then I'll be winning gaming competitions online, and you'll be going, who is this bloke with his pork pie hat? I know him from somewhere.
Gaming competitions, okay.
Yeah.
Just try and avoid spoiling the stories for yourself.
Yeah.
Because the stories are what make Far Cry games or the choices you have to make.
Yeah, but I like to know the environment. That's why I'm reading the way I'm doing it.
Yeah.
It's not cover to cover. It's choosing layouts and things and just seeing where I'm going, because otherwise I will be running around in circles.
Just understanding the mechanisms.
For months. Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
I'm not saying I'm going to set the gaming world alight with my prowess, but
I like that word.
It's like anything. You know, if someone says, walk down the street and turn left, you want to make sure that you do actually turn left and there's something there. So, I like to know.
Yeah. You don't know how good you'll be. My very dear friend Nikki, she used to play Final Fantasy on the PlayStation 1.
Oh, right.
And that was all she ever played.
Yeah.
And some platform games. Back in 2001, or 2002, early 2002, I introduced her to Halo on the Xbox.
Yeah.
And the first time she tried it, she couldn't even move the character. She was like, she had no idea of first-person controls because she'd never played a first-person game.
Yeah.
She had no idea of a controller with 2 sticks and stuff because she was playing a PS1. She was like, oh, what is this? It's horrible. Oh, I don't like it. Within a week, she was absolutely the most dangerous player you could play against because she could headshot everybody instantly and she beat our ass every time she played. I'm like, how did you get like so good in like a week? She went, oh, I just played it.
Yeah.
So, you know, you never know what latent talent you might have in there for
you never know.
Gaming. Yeah. Excuse me.
You do realise, though, using the words Festa and talent is the mother of all assumptions.
It's an assumption. I don't think talent is a word really for video gaming.
No, but again, I like to have an understanding of the gaming logic, you know?
Yeah.
It's all new to me, so, you know.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the good thing with modern games, especially first-person games like what are called sims or immersive simulations like the Far Cry games and stuff like that, is that not all the time, but a lot of the time, you could say, here's the thing, what would I do with that in real life? Well, I'd pull that switch and I'd see what happened. So you do it and the game lets you do it. And a lot of these games, you know, you're like, well, I'm trying to think of an example. I did something the other day that was like, I can't believe I could do that. I can't remember what it was. Well, like, for example, in Far Cry, one of the mechanics you often use is if you're say behind a wall, and you want the enemy on the other side of the wall to walk out in front of you but facing away from you, so you can take him down from behind, you can throw a rock. So you throw a rock in front, about 6 foot in front of you, so the guy goes, oh, what was that? And he walks to the point where the rock is, and you can sneak up behind him and take him out. It's like you can just think, how would I do this in real life?
Yeah.
Oh, it works. Oh, it works. So.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I am impressed with what I've seen so far, because it's a whole new world to me. So.
Yeah. Well, that's the beauty of these modern games, is they kind of get to that point where it really is, what would I do in real life here? And it actually works. Not all the time, but sometimes.
Kind of makes it somewhat super cool, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah. You can use real-world logic about things sometimes.
Yeah, now you've confused me because you're assuming that I know how to use real-world logic. I'm a man of a certain age.
Well, it's like, you might be in a building or something. You think, well, how do I get from here to there? It's like, well, if this was a real building, I'd go up some stairs to get to that bit. And you'd be like, oh, it does actually work. They kind of do it in a real way.
Oh, right.
Use your own lateral thinking. Because it's an immersive sim. It's what it is. It's trying to put you into a world. I just wish I could be there for the first time in Far Cry 4 that you let's just say, have an activity with an eagle.
Oh, right, yeah.
The first time you experience the eagles of Far Cry 4. Yeah. I shall say no more about
I shall take Diane to a whole new level.
It's all right.
It's all part of it.
Yeah. It's all part of it.
Jeff says Mardi Gras will be on Tuesday, so everyone gets some good Louisiana foods planned if you can. Is New Orleans and them areas, have they recovered from the bad hurricane that there was many years back, or is it still pretty sort of derelict and that? Because obviously we don't hear a lot about American stuff over here now that a certain office got changed. So yeah, I was curious as to whether them areas are still struggling with the aftermath of the horrible hurricanes they went through. So
my brother's been to New Orleans a few times over the past few years because they're only in Tennessee, but I don't know what state.
Because it got proper obliterated, didn't it? And
well, after Katrina and then the ones after that,
Yeah, so I often wonder because, you don't get a lot of news about the US over here now.
No. And even when you did, it was always like you get the news about when the disaster happens, but once it's just in the fixing everything stage, it kind of fades away and you never...
Yeah, all we're hearing
it just becomes
now
local
is
news then.
Apparently the current American president is old and forgetful.
No, surely not.
You'd be a bit forgetful at that age, so... Yeah. That seems to be all we're getting at the moment, and it's... Yeah. At the end of the day,
any disaster, though, isn't it? Once it's not a front page headline story, it's
it's 48-hour news cycle, isn't it? At the end of the day,
yep.
Once it's off the front page, but I often wonder because it was devastating, wasn't it? Let's be honest. Those poor people going through what they went through. So Panzer's in the chat saying hello. Hello, Panzer. How you doing, mate? Lovely to see you. Edward says, I just know here in the US you have to use your birth name or you have to legally change it. Yes, we legally changed our names, mate.
Yeah, you can't just change your name you have to do it legally.
On all your important documents, yes.
Yeah, you can't just decide to change your name and that's it. No. The funny thing is, the solicitors will always say, right, to me, he says, I have to ask you this.
Are you
sure? Have you committed a crime?
Yeah.
Are you on the run from the police? Is there any dubious reason why you're changing your name? No.
Yeah.
Okay. So, wow, that was a strict security check. You went, as long as we ask, we're just doing our job.
Got to ask. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it has to be legal. You do a deed poll, change it by deed poll.
Yeah.
And it get changed on the electoral register and stuff.
I wouldn't even know what the price is now. Change your name. I don't think it's that expensive.
No, it was 25 quid when I did it back in the day.
Yeah.
But that's the interesting thing. They don't ask you why, and they don't need to know why, and they don't care why. They just have you done anything illegal? No. Okay.
Yeah, as long
as
it's
wanted
legal,
by the police,
they're happy.
No.
If you're trying to escape justice, then obviously they won't let you do it.
I wonder if it's are you doing it? Are you doing this to escape any kind of prosecution? Yes, I was done for fraud. Oh, I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay. I wonder if I'd attract anybody with that typically British question. Are you being a legal criminal? No.
Yeah.
Would you lie if you were? No.
It's the way they go. Now for the legal bit. So they're like, hey, is this the case? No. Right, that's that done. So, God, that was thorough.
Yeah, that's why it's 25 quid.
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
Are you a crim? No, good.
AC mean name changing's limited. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right, I'm going to step away for a moment.
Yes, no worries, dear. Webcam there, Cole. Try not to smack it with your hand, mate. But yeah. Panzer says the lady president was old and forgetful. He allegedly forgot he was voted out of office. Yes. Go for it, is it? Saying hello, hello. Go for it. How you doing? Lovely to see you. Hope you're keeping well. Edward says, I think it's a lot more difficult in the US to do a name change and probably costs thousands of dollars. Yeah, you go through things, there's legalities to it, like you say, your passport and all of that gets changed. And then you have to assure that you're not going to use your old name for applying for an additional license or passport or anything like that. So there are some legalities there, but would I say it's strict enough? No, I wouldn't. I do think it's open for abuse, but that's the system we've got at the moment. Whether it's been tightened up in the years since I did mine, I don't know. But yeah, it's certainly there's always going to be people that do it for different reasons, don't get me wrong, but that's their choice, isn't it? That's one of them. Have you some of that? Jeff says New Orleans has recovered, but I'm sure there are some lingering issues. In 05 when the hurricane happened, my God, that long ago, the entire extended family of a dear friend was displaced. We took good care for a few for a while. Oh, good for you, Jeff. Bless you. That's very compassionate, mate. Big props to you, mate. Yeah, I mean, we saw it on the news, and it was shocking to see how quick society started to implode when that happened, and the bad side of humanity kicked in, didn't it, where people were trying to loot each other and rob each other and all of that, and it's just like, oh, really? So yeah, it was a massive thing. I don't know whether it was reported brilliantly over here. I think a lot of it was second-hand news when we got it, but from what we saw, it was a pretty tragic event going on out there. But they tried to politicise it, didn't they? And I think that was the wrong move.
Yeah, we got it for a few weeks, didn't we?
Yeah. Wasn't it George W. that was president at the time? But I don't think
it was George Bush
or
Obama.
Yeah,
I can't remember who it was, actually.
I don't know. I thought it was the last of George W., to be honest with you. But they tried to politicise the reaction times, didn't they? That's what we was getting over here. And yeah, I don't know whether it was Obama or George W. at the time.
No, I think the tragedy is there's probably been enough now since then that there's probably been there have been more than we've just kind of conflated them with each other.
Yeah, so
I think it was Bush.
But yeah, it was almost, it's like anything. It always happens. It happens in the UK as well. A tragedy will happen, and they try to gain political points scoring off of each other over it. And it's like, don't politicise it. Deal with the tragedy. Deal with the people that are going through this. Stop trying to score brownie points off each other because, yeah. The clue's in the name. United Kingdom. Use it now and then.
No chance.
Yeah. Wibble over. But yeah, it just annoys you, doesn't it, when you see people trying to make gain over something tragic. Pardon me.
Well, there are people that will do that. Unfortunately, more nowadays. Welcome to the TikTok generation.
Oh, it's going to be worse this year because it's UK election year, folks. Mm.
Yep.
I think it's the same in America, isn't it? Does it start this year in America?
Yes.
Late November time,
will be
isn't
the US election. What, sorry?
late November, isn't it? Election in America.
Yeah, November.
As is August,
time.
September, isn't it?
Yeah, something like that.
Allegedly, but yeah. Oh, God. Oh, that's going to be fun.
Oh, yeah.
I can imagine Vincent in Belgium is already training his fingers for his keyboard.
Oh, dear Lord.
He's a legend. When he goes into one of his political rants, folks, it is the wibble to die for, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, you know when he goes on, everybody else in the chat just leaves and shuts up and goes quiet for a bit and lets him get on with it.
Yeah, we're just like, okay, yeah.
Right, we'll let you carry on.
Yeah, you carry on. Keep the chat going for a couple of months. We'll see you in there. Yeah.
You crack on, love. We'll come back when you're finished.
But it is funny. Because you can see, knowing Vincent, because we all hang out together, we all chat to each other, but you can just imagine the 50 Shades of Red and ultraviolet he's going as he's typing it all. It's like, yeah.
What's even funnier, though, is when he goes on about something in Europe that, of course, we don't really know anything about.
Yeah.
We're like, who? What?
Yeah.
And sometimes him and TK, and it's like, we've got no idea what you're ranting about.
Oh, they was having a wibble the other day about Dutch politics, weren't they? Like,
yeah, and it's like, no idea what you're talking about.
We got no idea what you're on about.
We've literally no information about your politics at all.
Yeah. It's like, show us on the dolly where the politician hurt you. Yeah. And then we get the, do you not realise how serious this is? It's like, don't ever go at us. It's just, we don't live there.
We've never even heard of these people.
Yeah.
we don't care about, because it never affects us.
Yeah. That's like me having a rant about the Stonehenge Tunnel. He's not going to care because don't live there.
Yep.
That goes to show you how really lacklustre living in the UK is at the moment, because here we are worrying about the Stonehenge Tunnel.
I don't even know what that is.
It's the tunnel at Stonehenge they're building, Fox. Clues in the name, mate.
No, I mean, is it like a road tunnel or something?
Yeah, it's road tunnel, mate.
Ah, right, okay. What's the problem?
Well, at the moment, the A303, people just pull over in the middle of the road and take photographs of themselves looking at Stonehenge. So, of course, if you're driving down the road and in the middle is a big RV because everyone wants to take a picture of themselves, it's dangerous, isn't it? So they're building a tunnel now to alleviate the problem. But, of course, the environmentalists, a.k.a. Thunberg, are all up in arms about it.
But it's a tunnel, so it's underground.
It's underground. It ain't going to be invasive to the stones, and everyone's happy.
It's not going to change. It's not going to change the actual henge.
It's going to improve it, because you're not going to be standing there looking at these wonderful things from the past, seeing a knackered old Morris Marina drive past with a smoky exhaust. Because
if the choice is do that or build a bypass in the above ground or a bridge or something, it's like, well, that's much better than building a bypass.
This is it. It's literally stones are there, road is there. Get rid of, because they basically said once the tunnel's built, all the road is getting dug up and they're going to return it back to natural terra firma. To me, that sounds
like a good deal.
Better thing. But what's the problem people have got is they're now going to have to pay the admission price to see the stones, and that's the crux. That's what people don't like, because they're going to have to pay now to go and do it rather than do it for free by spin stood in the middle of the road.
That is tricky, because in the country we do have this commitment to open and free national parks, don't we?
We do. So
that is a tricky one. I don't know where I stand on that one. I don't know if I agree with charging.
Yeah, that's the dangerous part, because they do charge for the tour of the stones. It has gone on for years. So,
I think with Stonehenge, it's a bit different, because if I remember rightly, you're not legally allowed just to wander up into the stones because they're protected and they're
fenced off now because you had all the idiots at the summer solstice climbing up on them and graffitiing them all, didn't you?
And I think it's a bit like the caves at Le Sceaux in France, where they have all the cave paintings. Where they used to be open to the public, but just the breathing of the people going in and out of the cave, the paintings were degrading. So what they did was they built an identical cave next to it. that looked exactly, and they redid the paintings and said, right, this isn't the real cave, but you can come and look at this one. The other one, you don't go in there anymore.
Yeah, it's almost like a facsimile of it, yeah.
Yeah, because they said, because just people's breath is destroying this paint.
Yeah,
so
I get that.
I don't know, Stonehenge is a tricky one because it's trying to protect it, and if that means you have to pay to go in, because, I mean, I don't know how it works now. You still have to arrange to go on the
you do, yeah. You still have to go on the official tour, so there is a cost.
Yeah, so it's not really any different.
So it's no real different. I think it's a better thing because they're not getting the vibrations of the traffic going past. They're not getting Captain Chuddy McChuckness basically making a traffic risk, are they? So
they're not getting chuds throwing rubbish and stuff. I mean, if it was just like, the thing with national parks is they are natural things. It's a hill or a mountain or a forest.
Yeah.
And you can't really charge for someone to go into a forest or a hill.
No.
But when it's a man-made structure, I suppose
they're going to charge Fox no matter what you say, mate.
Yeah.
It's just an extension of what they're currently doing.
Yeah, just in terms of an interesting conversation, whether you should charge for it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's like, you can kind of see an argument for it with Stonehenge as opposed to things like art galleries and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think they're doing it to try and keep the, how can we say, the
chuds,
the whatever you want to call them, that have been damaging the stones and trying to make it theirs and no one else's. And I think that's what the main thing is to alleviate all these idiots that seem to want to devil worship by the stones and do their thing. And
or just leave crap behind.
Yeah, if they've got to pay to do it, they're going to think twice about doing it, aren't they?
Yeah.
Like the people with the rattle cans that wanted to graffiti it, or, I can remember there was a guy arrested there who went in with a couple of big heavy-duty rock hammers and was knocking massive big bits out of it because he was flogging them on eBay. Now,
really?
I ain't being funny, but if a 10 quid cost to go and view the stones is going to stop idiots like that from behaving that way, I'm all for it.
Or at least just pay for security to be there at night when it's, people
exactly. So
I suppose at the end of the day, if you want to go and visit any castle in Britain, you have to pay to get in the castle. Exactly.
Same with Buckhouse, all of that lot.
Although there are things like stately homes and stuff which you don't charge. No, you do. Yeah, I think.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Buckhouse is charged for, so.
Yeah, all the stately homes around here, you have to pay to go in. They're National Trust, but they have to make money somehow.
Yeah, there's a few of them that are still free, but not many now. It does seem to be going that way. And
it's an interesting conversation. Should they charge for it? It's like, well,
what's the policy in America? Do they charge for things like tours of Smithsonian or Lincoln Memorial, things like that? Are you able to walk up to them and just sit there and do your thing, or are they protected? Because
I think you can actually just go up to them.
Yeah. I mean, we've got the famous one with the cenotaph in London. You can pretty much walk up to it, do your thing. But there is talk now, especially after last year's protests around Remembrance Day and things like that, that they are going to try and do something to protect the cenotaph. And
yeah, you kind of want people to be able to access it, but you want to limit the access to just especially if it's in the middle of a street like the cenotaph. But America's interesting because they like us. They've got like the national parks program where it's just
exactly that, but
to preserve the nature.
Yeah, are there certain things where it's protected and you pay a fee? It's like Declaration of Independence and things like that. If you want to go and see that, I think there's a charge, isn't there, for where it is? I don't know. But
I don't know where it is. Is that kept at the Smithsonian, or is that kept at the somewhere else?
I don't actually know.
Don't know at all.
I'll know it when someone says it, but yeah.
Is it, it might be at I can't remember what it's called now. I was about to say the Congressional Medal of Honor for no reason at all.
Is it at the House of Congress or somewhere like that?
The Library of Congress or something. I don't know enough about that to say.
But I've seen it on the goggle box and that, and it's like, Mona Lisa, there's obviously that's in the Louvre, but I'm sure there's a charge to go in and see things like that because it's an art gallery, isn't it, so to speak? So
yeah, I know the Whitworth Gallery in Manchester is completely free.
Yeah,
I think museums in the UK are actually free.
A lot of them are, apart from Imperial War museums and that. A lot of the ones in London, there's a charge. But there are some free ones if you're careful and you know what you're looking for.
Yeah,
but
I certainly know that like Manchester Museum is free and Manchester Whitworth Gallery.
Yeah.
But obviously Manchester Museum, they charge for things in there, like, you know, food and drinks and souvenirs and stuff. So they make the money
stuff,
that way.
yeah. Yeah, our Transport Museum is free. The Willis Museum, that's free.
I can't remember the Science and Industry. The only museums I know, obviously, I've got access to are in Manchester. I think the Science and Industry Museum and the Aero Museum are free. I think. I always remember going in the Air and Space Museum over many years, and I remember I was dead jealous of this diorama.
Yeah.
And I think it was an Operation Market Garden type diorama. Yeah. So it was all like, you know, World War II, and it was all 1/72 scale.
Yeah.
And I was only a kid at the time. So I remember being enwrapped by this diorama of this like bridge and the street and stuff, and all these vehicles and things. It might have been the Nijmegen Bridge or something like that, or bridge over one of the rivers.
Yeah.
But if I went back there now, I'd probably be like, wow, that's really bad. As a kid, I was like, wow, I need to break in and steal all these models. But now as an adult, I'd probably be like, well, that's really badly painted, and the weathering on that is terrible. And
Jeff says Lincoln Memorial is free and open, as is everything I can think of in the outdoor mall area. Most of the museums in Washington are free and open.
Yeah. I think because it's the nation's capital, it is going to be just basically free, isn't it? Because it's...
Yeah, but in the smoke, you know, the majority of museums in the smoke, there's a charge. Natural History Museum, Imperial War, all of them sort of museums, Victoria and Albert, they're all chargeable.
Yeah. Guess it depends on the museum, I guess.
Yeah, it does make you wonder, doesn't it? But I suppose they all cost money to keep open, don't they, at the end of the day?
I wonder as well if some of them are actually private museums.
Could well be,
I mean, are all museums publicly owned? I mean, in the UK, I don't know. Are some of them private? I don't know.
I think a lot of them have like a board of governors and things like that, don't they? And fundraising people that try to raise money to keep the museums going. A few of them have quite famous donors, don't they, that donate money to keep them going. And
like maybe the British Museum might be government owned or something, I don't know.
Some of them have still got state subsidy, haven't they? But
or royal charters.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
That's the thing.
Privately owned museums out there.
I would have thought so.
There's an otter sanctuary in Derby somewhere that's privately owned. It's adorable. If you ever get to Derby, find it. I can't remember what it's called, but it's an otter sanctuary. It's basically just a place. It's full of otters. There's all otters, wall-to-wall otters. It's just you walk in and it's just squeak all the way. You don't want to leave.
That's instant goodness, isn't it?
Yeah, you walk in and you're like, everything's brilliant. It's an otter sanctuary. What do you look after? Otters.
Clues in the name.
Yep. Anything else? No, just otters. Occasionally an owl.
What do you think we would look after in the otter sanctuary, the young man?
Beans. And now to paint the puttees, or gators if you prefer.
It says also, Jeff says, most national parks that are federally operated in the US are free. Some charge a small fee, absolutely. Bobby says independent museums normally charge a fee. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I don't know if you read this before, but the Bobbin says about name change. You could change his name to Maximus Didymus.
Yeah, we'll support that.
The funny thing is, right, in the UK, if you want to change your name, there's nothing you can just change whatever you want. Obviously, there's some legal requirements. You can't change your name to Dave Car Park. They probably wouldn't get away with that. But There's nothing to stop. If you want to change your name, you don't have to have a reason. You can just be like, I want to be called Max.
Yeah, you've had people change their name to an entire football team's name, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, you could change your name to Dave PATRON.
Yeah.
If you want to.
As long as it's not offensive, using offensive words or so you can't call yourself Efferty McFace or something,
No.
But pretty much anything else goes, I could change my name to Florence Nightingale and no one would bat an eyelid.
Nope. I mean, I think there are something you can't change your name to, like a list of numbers and things like that. You can't do.
No, you can't do binary numbers. You wouldn't be able to call yourself, I don't know, for instance, Charles III. You wouldn't be able to use that sort of moniker. But,
you can't use. You might not be able to use trademark. I don't.
Trademarks, things like that. Anything that's got a trademark, copyright. So we did have one famously trying to change their name to Coca-Cola, didn't we? And that got vetoed because obviously it's a brand and it's. Yeah.
That's just to stop any legal nonsense, I think. Yeah, you couldn't change your name to, let's say, I don't know, the name of a World War II German dictator, perhaps. That would be a bad move. That wouldn't that wouldn't work.
There are, how can we say this?
Limits.
It's a hit list of names, but with a capital S in the front of it. Let's just say that. That is kept, and there are certain names on there that are definitely a no-go area.
The sad thing is that there are people out there that would actually change their name to that if they had the chance, and you'd be like, really? What an absolute troon.
Yeah, you'd have to be some kind of... Yeah.
There are.
But sad to say, those people do exist.
Yep.
Because we had that a few years ago where someone tried to christen their baby with a certain leader's name from that era. And it was poo-pooed, and they tried to do the whole civil, human rights, all of that. And it was like, you can take it to any court here, European Court of Human Rights, you will lose.
Yeah.
Because, that's just how it is.
Yep.
Why would you want to do that?
Yeah, there are people, some Australian couple that wanted to call their baby the name of a German dictator, and it was like, really?
Yeah.
It's just that stupid.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, folks, the fact that we're not saying that name suggests you probably shouldn't type it in chat either, please, obviously, to protect Colin's income.
It's on the Amazon YouTube list, folks, so if you don't...
Oh, good, yeah.
No, I mean, it is a name on YouTube, isn't it?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
A hot name.
So, yeah, please don't obviously type that into chat either.
Yeah, by saying that, you do realise now everyone's going to type it in.
Well, no, because then they get banned. But, yeah, there are people like that. I did know someone who wanted to change their surname to Car Park. They lived in London, drove a World War II wheelie jeep and walked around in a cat suit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were also rather large chap, so it was very strange. They were a very strange chap. He obviously, in the end, didn't get permission to change his name to Car Park. He wasn't allowed. Don't ask me why. He just wanted to do it for giggles. I think I've told you about him before. He went to a nightclub one night and came back out, and there was like armed police blocking off the road because his Jeep had a deactivated 50 cal on it.
Oh, right, yeah.
And somebody phoned the police saying there's a car outside with a massive, dirty, great big gun on it. What they didn't say was there's a World War II wheelies Jeep with a dirty, great big gun on it, which probably would have made it more obvious. So he came out to that and was arrested and taken away. They were like, yeah, you should probably take the gun off when you're driving it around town, mate. But hey, stupid is as stupid does. I didn't know him very well. He was someone who knew in passing through somebody else. And it's like, really? You how much of an idiot are you?
Yeah. Oh, there's some prime ones about, mate. We have seen many a thing over our time. This is the thing. In the time we've been doing this, we've come across some prize ones, haven't we? It's been it's been an interesting journey.
Oh, yeah. People that you wonder how they remember to breathe without somebody actually jumping up and down on their chest.
Yeah.
You're like, how did you get this far in life? Like to actual more than 6 months old or 10 years old?
It's when you sit there and you go, what part of you thought that would be a good idea? And then you think, yeah, it's because I've got the word thought in there.
Yeah. Oh, wait, that's the important word, wasn't it? Yes.
Yeah. We've had some classics. We really have. When you sit and think back, you think, my God, what did we let ourselves in for?
Yeah, we were idiots.
Oh, yeah. There's some brilliant ones, mate, over the years.
I mean, look at what kind of idiots we are now as, like, men in our 50s. Imagine what we were like when we were in our 20s.
Yeah. It makes you wonder, doesn't it, if this YouTubing thing had been around and we was the age of the younger generation now, how different would we have been with our channels?
Well, to put it this way, if we were that age now, we'd actually understand half of the crap on TikTok, and that'd be terrifying.
Yeah, that is a fault. Yeah, TikTok is a bizarre one, isn't it? I mean, yeah.
It's like every time I see somebody a repost of a TikTok video where it's got subtitles in the middle of the thing. It's like, your subtitle is covering up the thing I'm looking at, and also, why not just talk? Why does it need subtitles the size that, it's portrait mode, Yeah, I know it's aimed at phones, but still makes me want to barf.
Yeah.
I saw one the other day, and it was like, somebody had reposted a video, so you had like the phone screen there.
Yeah.
The video was portrait, and then the video they were actually showing was like that bit, because it was like 16:9, so it was in the middle.
Yeah.
And it was them filming, it was like them reposting the video. So you had the phone screens, and it was, and I'm like, God, just, I don't understand. It made me angry, and I had to go down and have a cup of tea. I hate my species sometimes.
Oh, blimey, yeah. What's that? Panzer says, why do I get the feeling Fox was specifically referring to me there? No, Panzer, it's not all about you, dear. As much as you'd like it to be. It's not all about you,
Have you got a cat suit?
Exactly. Bless him.
Do you have a cat suit and a Willie's Jeep? No.
Yeah.
Wait, which bit was I referring to? I don't even know which bit he's talking about.
Mind you, we all know that he runs around dressed up as the Caped Crusader with his pants on the outside of his trousers, but that's his special little secret.
Wait, does that mean Panzer actually walks around in a cat suit and driving a Willie's Jeep?
I'm trying not to think of that image, mate, really.
It's too late now, isn't it? I've done it. I've put it in
Yeah,
there.
you're not helping, mate. You're not helping.
No, I know that. My aim is to not help as much as possible. For some reason, I've got the theme tune to Spike Milligan's There's a Lot of It About in my head. I don't even know why.
No idea, mate. That would
like
mean getting inside your head, mate, and there's things that I really don't want to do.
It's like I vaguely remember the TV series, but for some reason, I really remember the theme tune.
Get rid of that. Yeah, getting inside our heads is a worrying thing, isn't it?
You don't want to do that.
No.
It's taken me 53 years to understand what goes on in my head, and I'm the one with the inside the head. And even if I struggle, then you've got no chance.
Absolutely. Edward says, I'm still trying to figure out what he said, Panzer. You're one step ahead of me. Yeah, that's the mistake you're making, Edward. You're trying to figure out what he's been on about, mate. I once tried that, and yeah.
I'm not even sure which bit he was referring to, and I was the one talking.
Panzer says, Fox, that catsuit is now in your head. Oh, it's in his head, mate. He'll be wide awake later, unable to sleep.
Panzer, I knew this guy, and I saw him in his shiny rubber catsuit. Trust me, it's not a good sight. It was shiny PVC or whatever that stuff is. It was, and he was a portly lad.
Yeah.
He wasn't a slim fella. He wasn't the kind of fella that would, you'd think wearing skin-tight clothing. So imagine shiny, whatever that rubber plastic is, in a World War II Willie's Jeep, driving down Camden High Street or whatever, with a 50 cal on the back. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I find this funny. When we used to go to the MotoGPs, you would still get those guides that were men of a certain age and shaped like men of a certain age, still trying to wear their Power Ranger coloured one-piece motorcycle leather suit. And it's like, dude, you really need to walk away now. Get yourself a two-piece set, or better still, something looser fitting, because your days of wearing one-piece leathers behind you.
Yeah. See, I when I started wearing waistcoats again, it's like, well, it's not so bad, because like waistcoats you think should be for slim gentlemen. And it's like, yeah, it should be, but you can bridge that gap to the slightly punchier gentleman wearing a waistcoat. It's like, okay, now it's more of a country home type.
You're
thing.
In your current Raymond Reddington mode, aren't you? It's like,
no, I wouldn't say that's a smart dress coat. I'm more the slightly woolen dress coat of the groundskeeper type dress waistcoat. Right, sir. That's right, Ted. That kind of, I've got that kind of like countryside look now. I can get away with it.
Oh, right. So you're now trying to convince the world that you're Squire Fox from the manor.
No, more like the gardener.
Down there, Ted. Down there. That little bit of field by the lake there.
That's right, sir. That's right, sir. No, sir. Yes, sir. It's that kind of waistcoat. Not smart businessy waistcoats.
Oh no.
Like that chap whose name I can't remember that you just mentioned.
Raymond Reddington. Classic James Spade, a character, mate. James Spade, what more can you say? Yeah. Guy's a legend.
Legend.
Don't like a bit of James Spade. I think he nailed that role. Nailed it, he did. Nailed it.
Dee 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 dee. I've just watched an episode of NCIS.
Yeah.
Where there was a character called Shmuel Pincus.
Oh, right, yeah. And
now I really wish that I knew someone called Shmuel, because it's such an awesome name. Like, oh, such a great name, Shmuel. I love it. Why don't I know anybody Jewish called Shmuel? Oh, an awesome name.
It's one of that. How far through are you now on
season 10, whatever episode that one was.
Oh, nice one. Doing well, then.
About halfway through season 10, I think. Took me about 3 months to get through Supernatural. That was 15 seasons.
Do you still hide behind a cushion when he does the Gibbs look?
No. The first season when I watched it, I really did not like Gibbs.
Yeah.
Because he reminded me too much of my ex-friend, who was my boss and also a complete and utter see you next Tuesday.
Chud muffin. Yeah.
Yeah, complete and utter bar steward. And wasn't very nice in the end. But then after the first season, he suddenly went into like much more chill mode and became more human, and so I liked him after that. But that first season was really hard viewing for Gibbs, to like Gibbs, because he was such an arse.
Plays the character well, though.
Oh yeah, it was almost like they wanted him to be a bit hard, but they didn't really understand why. But in the second series onwards, he became a bit more human and less just because all the slapping Denos on the back of the head, it just looked angry in the first season.
Yeah.
And it was like, why would you want to work for an ass like that? What an absolute, butt.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to work for him. I'd be filing HR complaints.
Mind you, if you worked with Denozo all day, you'd want to slap him, wouldn't you?
Denozo's my hero.
Yeah, Daddy Denozo is nailed as well.
Oh, yeah.
I think that was good casting, that was.
Oh, yeah.
The dynamic with Denozo and McGee is up there with Quark and what's his chops? Odo. That's him.
Oh, yeah. Although I don't know, because now it's like season 8 onwards where McGee's voice changed because he gave up smoking and he got thin.
Yeah.
He's become like kind of wallpaper in the background. His character's just kind of died.
Not that I want to spoil it, but that will change back.
Oh, good. Because it's just like, he doesn't seem to do anything of input. He just kind of stands around and says, yes, boss, no, boss. And he doesn't actually do much anymore.
The thin McGee doesn't last long. He'll return to his old form.
Yeah, because I was reading up because I was like, his voice he's going all raspy. So I read up on it, and it was a big hoo-ha at the time as to why his voice had changed.
Everyone was concerned about his rapid weight loss, weren't they? And
and it was like, no, he just gave up smoking. Started eating healthy. He's like, okay. But it just seemed to be that the writing for him just changed at that point for him to be, he just became not very interesting. He didn't, he didn't really do much. He just kind of stood around and said, yes, boss, no, boss. And I was like, really? because there was a nice dynamic between him and Abby. You know, the sort of on and off type. They had a bit of a fling at the start, and then and it's like, yeah, that kind of died and disappeared. It's like, really?
Well, he did harbour a secret crush, didn't he, for the character? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But Denozo and Ziva.
Yeah.
I did when I first met Ziva. I thought, oh, please don't bring her in as a character. It's going to suck. But now I love those two so much. They are like Odo and Paul.
Yeah. Look, I can remember at the time you was like, no, don't like Ziva. And I went, I'll grow on you. The dynamic she forms will blow you away. And
yeah, because in that first episode,
at first, but
yeah. Well, the thing is, I'd only just lost Caitlin, hadn't I? I'm like, yeah, but Caitlin was great because she was like, and I was getting over that.
Yeah.
He says like it was some big drama.
I thought the casting of Ziva's character was genius at the time, because when Caitlin went, you know, it was a void, wasn't it? Let's be honest.
Oh, yeah.
And she was one of them characters that grew on you.
Mm-hmm.
See, when I first came across NCIS, it was at the stage you're at now where their dynamic had really been there to see in the few episodes. That's why I went back and watched it from the beginning.
Yeah.
So I never really quite, although Caitlin to me was a good character, because I knew Ziva was going to replace her, I was kind of, I'm looking forward to Ziva coming in, because the dynamic was there that isn't there at the moment. And
yeah, I mean, when you know, Caitlin left and then Ziva was in that first episode where she wasn't part of the team, and I'm like, hang on a minute, are they going to somehow get her on the team now? Because I don't know about that, because Caitlin was really good with Tony, and and then it was like, okay, I should just trust in the writers.
I'm so glad it's not just me that went through that.
No.
Because I was
need to learn.
Really? Yeah.
I need to learn. And I have to say, in all 10 seasons, there's only been one episode, I think, where I started watching and was like, no, I'm going to skip this one.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what it was. It was like, I think it was some storyline, and I just... But you know, the opening characters that start it, like the witnesses or whatever, the people that find the body, you have these characters, and it started off, and it was something, either the setting of the main thing or something. I just like, no, I'm not going to watch that. I think it was one where they were all teenagers. I'm like, oh, I'm not going to like this one. And I just bailed on it before I even got about 10 minutes in.
Yeah. Yeah, some of the episodes didn't quite work, did they?
Well, I don't know. Most of them are all right. Some of them are a bit lame, but you kind of work through it because you've got the fun of watching the guys.
Yeah.
So you kind of take the hit.
But it was the whole group thing that was set up on the internet with how did he get his boat out and stuff like that. It's like,
yeah.
Give her another 10 minutes and then I'll ring her.
Yes. Dee-dee-dee-dee.
But yeah, it was a stroke of genius casting. It really was.
Oh, yeah. No, I have, unfortunately, without intending to, I've kind of read ahead so I know which actors and characters leave, and it's like, so I know all that now.
Yeah, I didn't want any spoilers because I didn't want to ruin it for you, but...
No, but it's one of the things where you just read an article and suddenly goes, oh, by the way, but I'm like, oh...
Yeah, there was a period that I stopped watching it, put it that way.
Yeah.
So I've never watched any of the more later episodes because for me, it kind of... The dynamic changed. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to say anything, it's just spoiled for everybody else, but I know one of the main character's replacements. I know the actor, I quite like him, but I'm not sure how he would work, but...
Yeah, it just didn't float me boat. I will go back to it. I will force myself, but at the moment, it's like... I do know that it's too raw for me. Too raw. Yeah.
I mean, I do know that from what I've accidentally read that it gets a bit more serious. I'm like, oh, no, I don't want... Yeah. I don't want it to turn into CSI because I can't stand CSI. It's boring as arse to me. No interest in that kind of stuff. It needs to be slightly silly.
Yeah, so, that's the stage I stopped watching because it became a little bit intense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. The comedic side of it seemed to disappear, and
Well, it's like that clip you sent me of that thing that bloke was in. That's a really bad way of describing it to the viewer, to the audience. Whatever it was called, the bloke with the waistcoat.
Oh, Blacklist, yeah.
Yeah, and that little bit you sent me, which was like over-the-top dramatic music and da-da-da-da-da-da, it's like he's just walking into a door, man. Da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, don't turn into that.
That was the opening scene of episode 1 when he first appeared, but...
Yeah, and it's like, I can't be doing with that music. That's going to put me off. So I dread that NCIS will turn into something like that. I'm like, don't do that. I'll find out.
Oh, big moth. Where did you come from?
A big what? Big moth?
Yeah, he was a beastie.
Maybe it'll fly on camera.
Yeah, it's literally just in the corner there, see?
Oh, hello, moth.
Happy days.
Ooh. Try and catch it and throw it out if you can.
Yeah, right. Like that's going to end well for me.
That's true. Oh, it's big. It actually moved one of your sanding sponges. That's quite big.
Yeah, it'll go.
You're going to name it?
Yeah, Moffy McMothface.
Good name.
He's up by the window at the moment, so by powers of deduction, that means he'll be back down here in a minute.
Yeah.
I thought it was a bit too early in the year for him, but there you go.
Yeah, I thought they shouldn't be around till like spring or summer.
Mm.
You got a chemical plant nearby. Maybe they're all mutated or something.
Yeah, we've got a Unilever place.
Yeah, probably just some kind of illegal, strange biomechanical military drug complex or something going on.
Could be Robo-Moth.
Yeah, could be a military drone.
Because we have got the AWE up the road and we've got the airbase just over the road, so it could be one of those new stealth nanomoths with built-in drone capabilities, and
it could be some like super secret military prototype that's somehow managed, but they forgot to not program in being stupid and flying into lights.
Yeah, moths with lasers. Uber moth. Stealth moth. Well, it couldn't be very stealth because I spotted it, but he settled down right on the edge of the window there. Yeah, just walk out, mate. There's a big planet out there that you can fly around in, rather than this tight little room. Go and live out there for a bit. Don't all Bob Ross there.
I was reading yesterday, actually, that scientists or people that study moths and butterflies and Lepidoptera and stuff, insects, they think they know now why lights mess them up.
Oh, right, yeah.
You know, like when you have a fire or a light and all the insects fly towards it.
Yeah.
They think now they understand why. They've never really known why it happens. Yeah. But they think now that basically the insects and the moths, they use the bright light to steer away from.
Yeah.
So they try, because they know they use it for navigation, but they never knew how. But they think now that they use it as a turning point. So when they see the bright light, it'd be the moon. They'd know to turn.
Yeah,
back towards the Earth, because if they're going towards the moon, then they're going into the air. They want to go back down
almost like a navigation thing.
Yeah, but when they're trying to do it from your lights, they're turning away, but it's still on the other side, so they can't turn away from it all properly.
Yeah, but I'm sure that moth saw that it was on camera, folded a ring round and went, "I'm a celebrity." Yeah,
it was very big and looked very fluffy.
Yeah.
It almost looked red.
Yeah, it was there going, show your wings, exude. Be laying over a chaise lounge in a minute in a provocative moth-like manner.
He'd be there going, paint me like one of your French moths.
Yeah, be like, do you not know who I am? Come on screen Reginald in Moth. A minute and it'll go, I like pose.
I like pose, Mr. Canal.
It's so good. You.
Me?
Yeah, I got so going to hell, young man.
Me? I didn't start this nonsense. It wasn't me. I didn't do any of that.
Oh, Big Boy did it and run away. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I didn't know certain facts until certain people told me certain facts, and then I knew certain facts. How I use those facts is entirely then up to that person for telling me in the first
there's
place.
More, mate. There's a lot more.
Good. And no audience, we're never going to explain what we're talking about. You're never going to find out.
Oh, yes. I'm a storyteller. Just glossed and teased you with the intro. Yeah, there is a hell of a lot. I don't like
when you gloss and tease me. I pay a barber to do that. In one of them special salons that you'd have to know the people to get into.
I have been asked many times what the peas thing is.
Yes, and nobody's ever going to find out.
I just say John Major. That's good enough for me.
Oh, yeah. That's all you're ever going to get. I was amazed to find out, just talking on that subject of dodgy massages, hairdressers, whatever, that we have a brothel around here. Right? that is
Okay.
No, but no, this is the thing. This is the, we have a brothel and have had for a long time that is so, like, it's like Honey Badger, it doesn't give an F, that they actually have a website
Yeah.
that has their address and the services they offer.
Yeah.
It's like, that's how much they don't care, and it's been going for like 30 years.
Well, we had the whole Madam Sin, didn't we? And the Dominatrix dungeons and all of that lot, where many politicians allegedly hung out, but it was on the news anyway, so it was public knowledge. So
it just amazes me that this place is blatantly open about what they are and what they do, and yet they've been around for it's like, how are they?
Oldest profession, mate.
It's who they know. That's why they've not been shut down. Yeah, so they've actually got, like, I won't give the name out, obviously, but they've got their own website and everything. I was working with this guy, this was about 10 years ago, and he's like, I've just found this website. He said, yeah. He said, it's for a brothel, and it's like down the road. I'm like, what? He said, yeah, look. And I'm like, you're joking. And it lists all the girls, and at the time, it listed all the girls and what their specialities were.
Oh, you got the full-blown menu and everything, yeah.
Yeah, but it said things like, it was things like, this is Tanya. She has A-levels and O-levels.
Yeah, be careful, because we are live.
That's why I'm saying, no, that's literally what it said. It said she has A-levels and O-levels.
Yeah.
So you get the idea of, I was like, how are they still in business? How have they not been shut down? It's like, they've been around forever.
Yeah, she's not your average brass. This one is an educated brass.
Yeah.
More bang for your buck.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Get out of bed.
I shall ring her in a
little
sec.
coat on these puttees or gaiters, if you prefer.
Whatever you want to call them, mate. Putties is the operative word, wasn't it?
Zandri dust, but it's a difficult colour to paint over dark bases. Over this blue, it's struggling a bit to cover, so it takes a couple of coats.
Is it 2 thin coats?
3 thin coats.
See what I did? Well, let's do that with your eyes of seeing, let's go. Yeah, go on.
Being so used to the smoothness of plastic figures, you do see some of the crunchiness in the detail on these figures when you're starting to paint them.
Oh, really?
Like the little, because it's not bad, but of course it's a resin figure, not plastic. So like the gaiters on the feet, they're not crisp edges. They're a bit ropey and a bit rough around the seams.
Oh, right, yeah.
So it's not a problem. I can see some of the texture in the resin on the greatcoat, but hey, at the end of the day, it's a tiny little company.
Yeah.
And it's no different to you get with Forge World. I think it adds a certain character to them, if I'm honest.
Definitely.
And again, it's only doing base coats. It'll go away when I've done highlights and stuff.
Just put that on there a minute. Oh, I'm just going to mute because I need to ring the Doris.
I shall read some chat while you're doing that. Let's have a look. My wife and I rented out a natural history museum for our wedding, says Jeff. Ooh. So everyone could see cool things like dinosaur bones and stuff during the reception while enjoying lots of free food and drink. That sounds like a great wedding reception. Bobbins says, I could be Batman. Not if you do it as 2 separate words, Bobbins. That's the first problem. Edward says, the National Archives Museum in Washington is where the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution are kept by the National Archives and Records Administration, NARA, government paid, Googled. You could have just not said Google on the end and would have been impressed by your knowledge. Just don't stand on me tail, says Panzer about the catsuit. He was a man of a certain shape, says Bobbins about the guy I knew with the catsuit. Yes, he was. Imagine a skinny guy with a pot belly. Yeah, but then he's wearing the proper Michelle Pfeiffer, like Batman Returns, shiny, what's it called? The patent leather. Yeah. And he had a bit of a beard as well. And a kind of fat face with a beard. And it was like, none of it worked, trust me, in any way, shape or form. She was apparently quite well known in that part of the world. And yes. That moth knows right where the camera is, says Jeff. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, it did, didn't he?
Edward Leonard says, sorry guys, can't keep my eyes open right now at night, everyone, and thanks for the stream. We'll be watching on the telly. Bye.
Take care, Edward. Always nice to see you in, mate.
Edward gets extra hugs for being a Johnny Foreigner, but using the word telly.
Telly box, yeah.
Yep. And that's chat up to date.
And also he gets massive rewards just for being Edward.
Yes.
Right, let's do a little bit of on the brake discs. Watch that dries.
Dry your brake discs. Did you hear a noise of life?
Yeah, it was. I'm awake. I said, yeah, I can't hear the pitter-patter of your trotters going across the floor above me. She went, they're not trotters. I went, they are.
I bet you didn't say that.
Yeah, I did. She knows I call her feet trotters.
It was nice knowing you. I've got a fruit fly. It's nothing, not as impressive as your moth, I'm afraid.
Yeah, where is it?
Is that because you know she hasn't got time to come in and clap you one round the head before she goes to work?
That's because I know I've got the door locked.
Ah. Wait, your door's got a lock on the inside? That's probably the worst idea ever.
Yeah. Yeah, but she knows the code.
Oh, it's okay. I thought you meant like a physical lock that nobody can get in.
No. Oh, no, not that stupid. Give me some credit, Fox.
I don't know. Your fear of H beating you up could be that strong.
That's your feet, that is. Yeah. Suffice to say, the language... Well, put it this way, if I was to say Burke, you know that's slang for...
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what she called me, basically.
I get the impression that if you were to say exactly what she said, even I would learn a few new words.
Yeah.
And my dad was from Glasgow.
Oh, she proper let me know the error of my ways.
Oh, yeah.
Said, oh, feeling brave, are we? I went, I was, but I'm not so much now.
Are you feeling brave? I was till I realised I was just actually feeling stupid.
Yeah. She's like, yeah. It's all right when you're at the end of your keyboard on your phone, dear, but I'm home now.
Yeah. Brave or stupid, you decide.
Yeah, it's always the latter with me, mate.
Yep.
She does laugh, though. She's like, bless you. Right,
see, this is the dangerous combination of having a wife who will kick your ass and a terrible memory.
Pretty much, yeah.
You're always going to get yourself in trouble.
Oh, yeah.
Right, now we need some Krieg khaki for the trouser pants.
You can guarantee it, mate. No matter how much in the doghouse I ain't, I will get back in. I've done everything I can at the moment, but I am still in the good books.
Still in the good books. This is terrifying me. This is a national crisis.
We are now talking many months here, mate.
This truly is a crisis of national proportions.
What's this, 3.5 months now?
I'm going to have to get the Cobra team on this, get them all assembled to have a discussion, because this is not natural.
I can see questions being asked in Parliament about it.
I can see questions being asked on Question Time.
A member of my constituency is in the good books. Discuss.
Yeah, and the responsible... Oh, is that Festa?
Yeah, Labour will do a U-turn on it. Sunak will refuse to apologise and we'll be back to square one. See what I did there? Yeah.
Don't get me started on that.
What's that? Sunak?
Yeah, don't even get me started on that.
I think the guy's a disgrace. That's all I'll say on that.
Yep.
To be honest with you. Should have done the decent thing, but I'm not going to get into that.
Nope.
No. Those in the UK know exactly what we mean.
Do you know what I'm painting? I'm painting trousers.
Oh, you're having a trouser moment. See what I did there?
Trouser bobs. That's me.
I was seriously thinking of getting rid of all the chrome as well. We can have a bit of nippage going on.
Is there ever a reason not to get rid of chrome? No.
Exactly. It's bish, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Not on a Revell kit. There's always a reason to get rid of the chrome.
I'll get my bottle of chrome removal goodness out.
Crud be gone, as it's also
in other words, oven bright.
In other words, copyright.
And we can give them a soak. Let's find where I put it. Can't be far away. Okay, where did I put that then? He says can't be far away.
It's quite tricky painting these legs and feet and stuff because they do just kind of just stop at the bottom of the coat. There's no actual leg in there, so it's quite tricky as to know what to paint.
Nice one.
I'll just have to hope that the wash, when it goes underneath, just makes it dark enough that you can't really see that the leg just kind of peters out.
Yeah.
And stops existing. It's also tricky to get in there. If you were clever, you wouldn't have glued these to the bases, Fox. No, that's true.
Exactly.
But then, having said that, you'd probably mess it up trying to glue it onto the base. So it's swings and roundabouts.
Yeah.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
I won't do that then. I've got a jar of oven bright somewhere. Do you think I can see it? It's not a small jar either.
No, it's a scruffy old jar with oven stuff written on it, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Have I put it in the cupboard safe? That's the point. And I can't move that at the moment because all the webcams attached to it.
For some reason, I was thinking it was on the shelf above the bench, but
No,
last
it's
time
not.
I saw it, you do something with it.
Yeah,
That might be something else. I'm
I
thinking
wouldn't
of.
have it up there now because I used to use the grabber to grab it, and
Yeah, that's a bad idea.
yeah, I might. I'll put it in the cupboard of goodness.
Cupboard of goodness.
Yeah, there it is. I had as
Yes.
well. God, this means I organised a thing
Wait,
and it
No.
worked.
no. You're doing it again. You're scaring me with this nonsense.
Look at me.
Next, you'll be saying you planned.
So professional, Carl.
Next, you'll be saying you planned something and you actually pulled it off.
Right,
That was
a
last
note
week, that
in
was
your
good.
diaries, folks. This is the day Festa had a plan that worked.
Callooh Calais, oh Frabjous Day.
Why would they chrome the side grills? Why?
I take it they're not meant to be chromed.
Like they're black. The only bit of
There's a
them that should be chromed is the veins.
The thing with Revell is, right, whenever you get an issue like that, the answer is always Revell. Why have they done that, Revell? Oh, okay.
Yeah, so let's get rid of all of that. Time for me to get back to work, says Panzer. Take care, all, and I will catch up. Happy days.
See, Panzer.
Well, you're not going to miss much. We'll be gone at 3:30 tonight. I'll go till 3:30, and then I'll call it then, because that'll be enough for me for the night.
I suspect Mama Wolf will probably go to bed 5 minutes before we decide to finish, so...
Yeah, well...
I'll say goodbye to everybody now, just in case I'm not here when we do go. She has this habit.
Yeah.
Bless her.
There you go. So we want those. Leave those for now. Let's just do the wheel rims. Yeah, that's...
I know we do dig at Revell kits, but they do good, curbside car kits and stuff.
I think so. I mean, it's one of those. If you want to...
It's just occasional head-scratchy manufacturing decision. You're like, really? But they do good curbside car kits.
If you want to get back some skills, I always recommend doing an older Revell kit or an older Airfix kit.
Yeah.
Brings you back down to the earth.
Or any Italeri kit.
Yeah, because
Any.
when your world is full of shake and bake kits, it's very easy to lull yourself into that I'm an expert modeler mode. Yeah, none of us are experts, let's be honest. No. So if you want to level up,
yep,
do one of them. This
is the thing, because, the old thing again, I'm a painter, not a builder. So I appreciate the shake and bake kits, because I don't want to get good at building because I'm far too lazy and I don't enjoy the building part. But even I know, that not every kit can be the best thing in the world ever. So I do appreciate that there are benefits to cronky kits. It's just sometimes I look at them and think, come on, we're paying for this. You could just modernise your kits to be at least slightly better. I know not every kit can be perfect, but still. But then again, it's like any product. There's the good stuff and there's the slightly cheaper stuff.
Exactly.
You can't expect a Chinese knockoff airbrush that you get on Wish to be anywhere near as good as a Hydra and Steam Bet.
No. Definitely not, mate.
Mm-hmm.
Right, get my jar opener of goodness, which is bolted underneath my cupboard.
But they could help themselves by getting actual talented modelers to do their box models. That would be a start. Because, you know, the number of models they have on the front, and it's like... It's what?
SWAT guy springs to mind.
Oh, God, yeah. Or like whenever you get any of their military models and it's just like... It's like, I say, a modern NATO vehicle. Oh, look, they've painted it black and green with no weathering.
Yeah, gloss,
a little bit of dry brushing. Yep.
That's another one. It's like, really?
Yeah, the SWAT guy is the worst offender.
Oh, he's brilliant, he is, mate. He's always our go-to favourite, that.
Yep. The model painters there saying, what do you mean humans don't have highly reflective skin? Everybody I know has highly reflective skin.
Yeah, did you not know also, a SWAT officer's uniform is that shiny?
Yeah, it's made of PVC latex rubber, just like cat suits. They wore cat suits in World War II when they were driving Jeeps. Didn't you know that?
Exactly.
They did not.
Get back to the wild sleigh.
I nearly understood the lyrics then.
Oh, that's scary, isn't it, eh?
It's scary when you go, I know what you just said then.
Yeah, meow, look at that, how quick that was. Look at that. Oh, it's brutal.
I don't get this, because when I try and do that, it takes hours in oven brine. I'm using the same damn stuff.
Yeah.
Mind you, I've never done a Revell, so maybe like Bandai chrome's more hardier than Revell
that
chrome.
Is that quick, folks. So, yeah. Well, for me it is. I don't know what he's using.
Well, I say I've never done a Revell kit, though. I don't know how fast does it do on a Bandai kit. Have you done Bandai through?
Oh, yeah, it's a little bit longer, but...
Yeah. Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. Zabada-bada-bada. This is taking a while to paint this, but I'm enjoying it. I'm taking my time. There's some tiny details.
Happy days. So we'll let that debubble and we'll fill that one up with a bit of water.
I think there's something about soft edge, softly printed, not printed, but, you know, soft resin, where the details are sometimes a bit nebulous, that makes you want to paint more carefully and more consciously. Because in plastic kits and figures and stuff, where they're well moulded, they kind of do all the work for you. Just get the brush and slap it on and all the paint behaves. When it's resin, you've really got to tell the paint where to go a little bit sometimes. At least on these, anyway. But I know the wash will hide a lot of problems. Gentlemen, hide your problems.
If in doubt, give it a wash.
If in doubt, slap it with big hammer. I cleaned that up.
You did. I am proud of you, mate, for doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Right, let's get rid of that out of there.
Und now wir painten the boots, ja, das ist richtig. Booten gefahren.
A nice rinse.
I wanted to paint the gaiters first and then the boots. I could have painted the boots when I did the strapping, same colour, but then I'd have to be really careful with painting the gaiters. And this way I can just slap the paint on for the gaiters and now just get the boots brown and run them up to the base of the gaiters. And all I can think of when I say Gator is John Gator from Time Team.
That's what he did there.
Yeah. Doing his grumpy Geofizz reports.
Yeah. Well, I suppose I better go around and do that field then. All right then.
Him and Stuart Ainsworth, when Stuart Ainsworth would walk around and say, I think you'll find there's a trench there and a pit just by looking at it. And he's like, well, I think actually you'll find when I do, let me do my geophysics first. Oh, look, he was right. Git.
I used to love it when the geophys used to go so badly wrong because you'd think, right, what excuse is he going to come up for this abysmal failure?
It's like, John, where's this entire building? Well, I don't know what I can tell you. There's nothing here. Look, it's all just like
But you
rubble.
said there was walls and everything, and bedrooms and everything. Yeah, well, yeah. And then Phil Harding would come in and go, well, ain't that good then, is it?
Yeah, Phil was like, why don't you just get down and dig?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know why I suddenly became Scottish.
None of that namby-pamby stuff. Let's just dig a trench. That'll tell us what's in the hole. Well, actually, you've got a valid point there.
It's actually interesting watching the new time team because it's mostly the same guys. They're all kind of old now.
Yeah.
Obviously, John Gator's still going along with his geophys, but it's much more modern equipment.
Yeah.
And Matt, who was always the one that had to go off and do the practical demonstration of being a Roman soldier or whatever it was.
Oh, yeah.
He's now like one of the lead archaeologists. He's come far. They've still got Raksha. Raksha's still there.
Oh, right, yeah.
Raksha Dave.
Is Clarenza still there?
Yeah, she's still in it.
Yeah.
And John Gator and Stuart Ainsworth.
She used to be so deadpan, didn't she? It was quite funny. It was like,
Oh, yeah.
he's got the sensible head on today.
Yeah. And what else? There's they've got Tony back for a few specials, but they've only done one so far.
Yeah.
But the normal digs that they do, there's only a couple each year, but the normal digs they do, it's not Tony.
Yeah.
But then they've got him back to do.
You want to come in my trench?
Specials. Yeah.
Classic Phil Harding line.
Phil's not in it though.
Shame that, isn't it?
Yeah, I assume it's just because he's busy with Wessex archaeology doing stuff there.
Yeah, he's quite well into that, isn't he?
And there's one commenter, one guy saying, well, it's not the same with that Phil. And one guy said, you do realise they're all in their 70s now, and they're probably like really tired, and if they're not busy with their own things, they're just old.
He's done his bit, bless him.
Yeah. No, he's still going strong for Wessex archaeology, apparently.
Yeah.
He puts a few things up for them on about Stonehenge and stuff every now and then. But
he's done his bit, Phil Harding.
Yep.
I mean, our old Tony Robinson, he's got to be in his mid-70s now.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
I think that's why he's only doing it's probably a case of he's just doing a couple of specials because he's probably too old to run around. And in all honesty, they probably just can't afford to pay him.
Yeah, because I don't imagine he's going to do it for free, is he?
No, I mean, much as he loves it, I mean, they're completely Patreon funded. So, they're doing all these digs and stuff, but they probably haven't got enough to pay Tony Robinson as well. So, but he's doing a few specials for them.
Can't imagine he's cheap, to be honest.
No, and he's not going to do it for free.
No.
Much as they are all friends, he still needs to make a living.
Got a mortgage to pay, just like the rest of us.
Although, having said that, it was interesting to watch a documentary where they said, when we used to do this back in the day, none of us actually really made any money doing it. It was all the archaeologists were just kind of doing it for free, really. Bit of fun on the weekends.
Fun weekend build. That's what I did.
Airfix, what?
Airfix 1 second. One of them fun weekend builds.
Airfix, the home of Airfix reissue. FWBs, what's that?
Yeah, I saw that picture. Peaches. He says he's come across the company that does resin models, and they're launching this year the kit depicting SAS soldiers about to blow the windows at the Iranian embassy.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
It was that iconic thing where they laid the explosive across the window, and it's like, and
then breached it.
Yeah, you've got a map sailing down the side of the building. That would make quite a nice diorama, to be honest with you.
I think it comes with the frontage. It comes with the frontage piece of the building as well, doesn't it?
The balcony and everything, isn't it? I know it's glorifying violence, I suppose, but at the end of the day, don't take hostages. Then it's easy, isn't it?
I don't know. It's just a depiction of a
It was an historical
military event, like many other military events.
I can remember watching that on, I think it was John Craven's news round or the 5 o'clock news or the 6 o'clock, one of them. And it was just like, whoa.
I wonder if, that's a good point. I wonder if they've actually shown it on the news round or not. I can't remember.
Yeah, because everyone at school the following day was an SAS soldier on that balcony, you know. It was like, yeah.
Because we kind of roughly knew what the SAS were, but that was like, to us, SAS was a World War II thing.
Yeah. Well, that's what it was, wasn't it? You know, the Desert Rats, the SAS and things like that, you know.
And this was the 1980s when all these kind of like crises were upon us anyway.
And then suddenly you had this happen on Tea Time News live on air, and it was like, oh my God, yeah. We went from being quintessentially British to kicking butt, and it was, yeah.
It's kind of interesting to think as well that there's a whole generation of people who grew up without this backdrop of like international terrorism and violence and all this that we kind of we grew up with.
Well, I was trying to explain this to my sons because obviously with recent global events, they ask questions, don't they? And I had it when they was teenagers, when 9/11 happened and you had the 7/7 bombings and things like that. Yeah. And they was like, oh, it's getting to the point you can't go out. And I said, don't give up. I said, that's the worst thing you can do. I said, me and your mum grew up in the 80s with the IRA issue.
Yeah.
With bombings in London. I mean, H, bless her, there's a photograph in our album where she stood out the window at Harrods. And literally 15 minutes later, that was gone because obviously the bomb went. You know, and when they did the Horse Guards parade, you know, we was in the area, you know, and it become a thing where you become impartial to it. It may sound bizarre.
Yeah. And not just like the IRA either. I mean, you know, we grew up at a time where there was a constant concern about nuclear war all the time because it was the height of the Cold War.
Wasn't it? It was the closest with Reagan and Gorbachev, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's a whole generation of kids that grew up without even thinking about that.
Do you remember doing the nuclear drills at school, Fox?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've said about this before, and people used to laugh and joke and say I'm really old and it's World War II. But I remember, you know, we used to have a monthly test of air raid sirens around here.
Yeah, we used to have it where they would signal. When I first moved here, it was still a thing because we had the Greenham Common problem, you know, the peace camp and the nukes at Greenham Common. Yeah. So we had a lot of that down here at the time still, and the aftermath until all of the cruise missiles went and all of that lot. So we're in the triangle of doom, as they call it, where we've got the, is it Perfleet, Purbright, whatever you want to call it. We've then got Odeon Air Base, and then we've got the Atomic Weapons Research Establishment up the way. So, yeah, it was the Grosvenor House Tax Office in the main city centre here. It's got the big underground bomb shelter for all the local councillors and business, because we had a lot of things like IBM and the AA had their central main offices here, so all of their bigwigs and obviously politicians, our MP and that were all due to go in the bunker underneath the tax office. Well, that used to have the siren. And like I say, you had your monthly test of the sirens, you know, and it used to freak you out a little bit.
Our local siren was actually on top of our school. So it was like, and people always say, oh, you're just joking, Fox, because it's World War II. It's like, no, trust me, in the 1970s and 80s, there were monthly air raid siren tests.
Yeah, it was
every month.
Do you remember the government nuclear war adverts?
Yeah, when we first started doing the E-Models stuff, I needed a little bit of music for the pre-roll, and I used the old Protect and Survive kind of music. I thought, I was pretty sure it wasn't copyrighted. It turned out it was. But that was great, that Protect and Survive.
Oh, yeah, it was still a big thing, you know, and suddenly it all stopped, which surprises me because I think we're at more peril now than we were even in our time in the 80s. Yeah, it was a strange time.
Yeah.
Of course, you had the Falklands War still going on. You had most of the British soldiers at any base in the UK, Europe, were targets because of the localised issues in Ireland. So it was a thing, you know. So
I mean, it was the height of the Cold War. It wasn't the height, but it was still full-on strength Cold War at that point. So
you used to get the ump on a Saturday because obviously you'd get bomb scares where you had to evac and play things like that. And you just think, oh, for God's sake, really?
Yeah.
It was just part of the norm, and you developed this mindset where you thought, I am going to go out. I'm not going to let these people spoil and restrict our life. And it's like when the whole current situation started with...
Oh, that's me gone. Back in a minute.
Yeah, with extremists and things of that ilk. You develop a resilience to it, and you're like, well, I'm not going to give in to all of that. I'm going to go about my business, and I think it's the right attitude. I don't know what it was like stateside, because obviously you got your first big hit in the 90s, and then obviously 9/11. But what's your mindset out there? Do you have a lot of, how can I say, procedures that you go through where you practice scenarios? What's your mindset about it all? You know, do you get warnings of any impending events, and do you get frustrated, or you just go, I've got to go about my life and carry on? We call it the Blitz mentality in the UK because it stems from our grandparents' mentality during their wars. So, yeah, Blitz spirit, or whatever you want to call it, but you have an inner defiance. I don't think it's uniquely British, but I can imagine there's a lot of cultures and people around the world that go through similar. And yes, folks, I've got all of these holes to drill. I've got many hours of fun just with this little bit. They acted promptly and efficiently, says Jeff. They did. I watched it recently. It was on YouTube, and I had just watched Who Dares Wins. It was a film that Lewis Collins was in around the time. And I thought, I wonder whether it's actually on the YouTubes, and there it was. And I just sat and watched it, and it was like, at the time, sitting there having your tea, I can remember my mum's face. And my uncle was staying with us at the time. And I could just remember the look of sheer disbelief on her face at what we were sitting watching, bless her. But yeah, it was on all the news channels. It was such a thing. But it's like when Lockerbie happened, you know, it was, for us, it was a tragedy, but we almost went into this autopilot mode, no pun intended, where we was like, okay, it's happened, let's, you know, and that spirit was there amongst all the people up in Scotland at the time. But yeah, it's a tragic thing. Again, it's people trying to force their opinions on people. I just think that's wrong, don't you? A few more holes to drill on this, how we do it for time. Yeah, got about 10, 15 minutes. He might be back before we go, but we'll be coming off air at 3:30. So let me get and have some dinner and all of that lot, and a nice little chill down for the evening. Yeah, I achieved a lot more than I thought I was going to achieve again. Didn't think I'd get much built, but it's easy for me. I'll do the main colour with the airbrush, and then I can go back in and detail paint everything before I marry that up to the body shell. But during the week, the body shell will be me focus, just doing all the panel lines, getting rid of anything I'm not happy with off of it. I've been round and done the majority of the ejector pin marks that are gone. And then it'll be buffing the shell just to knock the shine off of it and keying the body ready for its primer coat. Still haven't thought much on a colour. I'll let it talk to me during the week. See what she says to me. She might not talk to me, I don't know. We'll see. I'll drop down my paint colours from the zeros and see what I've got up there. Something might spring to mind. I can imagine there's a lot of red mercs out there. What's that red with a tan interior there on the box art? So I'll see. I'll do a bit more research. We'll be obviously doing the Monday E-Models show this week. It'll be the group of us this week. So we'll be at the bench doing that. Me and Dave will be back on Sunday with a bit of the old Sunday brunch, doing a bit of gallery goodness and a little bit of promoting other people's channels. So if you've got a YouTube channel, folks, and your link isn't in the YouTube section, bung it in there, because I shall be going back to basics and opening that up and scrolling through and going and visiting some channels again. We had a few targets last week that we reached on there, getting people to certain levels, certain little targets. And it's something we enjoy doing and we kind of want to get back into doing, so a few more holes to drill there. Yeah, get them done. Just, for me, just makes these look a little bit more real. And then, like I say, I can run a bit of sanding sponge around the back to get rid of all the swarf. And then I can go back and re-drill the holes just to get any swarf out of them. I mean, you're already gonna notice this until you're close up to the model. But I just think it gives it a little bit more pizzazz. It's just a habit I got into with the bikes, and I don't see why not on the car. I'll probably order a mask set for it for the windows as well, just to get them right. Go. All day long. I'm that impressed, I'll start drilling the other one. Might as well. Have any of you guys got any plans for the upcoming weekend? Have you got friends over, family over? Are you just chilling at your bench after a tough week? I am that nosy. I need to know all of the things. Because, you know, that's what I need to know. Let's just get that in there. I like these drill bits. Absolutely beautiful. They really are. Use some of that. And this is the sort of thing I find therapeutic. I really do need to get out more. I can sit there and just quite happily sit and drill these holes. It's like, it's one of them tasks when you drill the first hole, you sit there and you think, God, I got all that lot to do. Why on earth did I think that was a good idea? But then once they're done, it does make it for me. I think that just looks a little bit better. All them holes. What do you reckon? I just think it looks a bit better than the one on the end that isn't drilled, so. Jeff says, is it Festa and friends or just you and Dave? No, just me and Dave, mate, going forward, mate. It's just a bit easier. So, yeah, just me and Dave, mate. We've gone back to basics, mate. no idea what I'll be doing at the bench this week. I've got absolutely no idea. It's whatever takes me fancy. It could be one of my existing builds. I might, yeah, if I can get me cutter out tomorrow and trim the base for Ringo, if I can film that, I might do a bit on Ringo. So we'll see. Depends on what I fancy doing that day, to be quite honest with you. So I was going to do a bit more on the bike, but I kind of finished that during the week, hence why I've started the Merc. So I've got no idea. I might dig out the group build, do a bit more on me Jeep. Actually, that's not a bad idea. Come to think of it. Yeah, it's a good shout. Where'd I put it? Ah, it's just over there. There you go. The big box with D-Day build written on it, Cole. Who's in the name, mate? So, yeah. Fair enough, Cole. No worries, mate. Why is that, Jeff? Do you not like the Festa and Dave show, then? Do you prefer the Festa and Friends show? I don't know, mate. Yeah. Anagram says, yeah, Festa's model, not Fox's foods. Yeah, absolutely. They look crisp, like they're actually machined from metal. He says, yeah, he's got his scones. So, yeah. I'll just finish off me bit of drilling, and then that'll be it then, because I'm getting hungry, so. Jeff says I like both. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind either way, but yeah. It's all good in Ute. It's not to say that I'll say never do another group show, but it's just floated the idea as well of having different members of the group as a guest each week, because I like the big screen. I like this. And I like the person next to me to be seen on the big screen as well. And sometimes when you've got a lot of you in on the group show, you end up with a micro dot. So if you're watching on an iPad, you can't really see what everyone's doing. Whereas when it's just a duo stream, I can use this bigly screens layout. So it's not to say that I might not choose different group members at different periods to be my guest that week. So who's to say, you know, but predominantly it'll be myself and Dave. It may be once a month I'll have a different group member on as a guest that day. I don't know. It's all stuff that's floating around in my head at the moment. I kind of want the viewer to get the maximum out of it. You know, you're able to see what I'm doing because we're on the bigly screen. All right, my webcam's a little bit far away, but, you know, I can still be seen on the bigly screen, so can Fox. But when you're on tiny little ones that are scattered all around, it can get a bit difficult. So, we'll see. See what happens. Never say never, but. And again, like you say, sometimes too many voices going at once can be distracting to the viewer as well. So, of course, everyone wants their bit of airtime, and sometimes we all talk over each other. We're all guilty of it. And it can be a little bit chaotic for the ears. So, just trying to figure out better ways of doing stuff, because, and again, you know, a two-man stream, say for instance, Jeff, I said to you, come on, mate, you're my guest for the week. People get to see you, people get to see what you do, and they get to know you. Whereas if there's 10 other people on the screen, you might be tempted to blend into the background. Then you've missed your opportunity then, haven't you? Shine. So, I don't know, it's all stuff I'm floating around with at the moment. Who's to say? Because at one point I was going to scrap the Sunday show altogether and try and come up with something completely different. So I do this every now and then. Right. It's now gone past, so I'm going to wrap up for the night and say me goodbyes, because I said I'd come off at 3:30, folks. So apologies, Fox ain't back, but I'll say goodbye for him. Before I go, what have we achieved tonight? We have achieved all of that. Got all of the engine going on. Let's just go full screen for a minute. There you go. We got all the engine in. Got my parallel clamp on there, just holding that onto the back of the gearbox. We got all of that, movable wheels and all of that lot. That'll then get speed painted. We can then move on and start flattening down this body shell then, just to get that all looking rather suave, and then figuring out a colour on that. So hopefully, if it talks to me, I might have this primed and painted by next week. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But in the meantime, a big good night from me.
I'm back. Good night, everybody.
Yeah, a big... hold up, let's go back out of solo. There you go. Let him have his moment of airtime. Go on.
There you go. Just got back just in time.
So,
bye, everyone.
Carry on.
That's right. I'm saying bye to everyone.
Yeah, so it's a good night from me and a good night for Fox. And we will see you Sunday for Festa and Dave at the bench. And then also Monday night over on E-Models. The E-Models crew will be back doing our thing. Yes. The bench stuff for that. Wednesday we'll be over on E-Models doing our builds there, and then obviously back again for a frolic next week, folks. Yep. So until then, thank you for all of your continued support. Massive stay safe and all of that lot. The usual spiel I come out with at the end of the show. Stay safe, stay well, and stay happy, folks, because at the end of the day, life's too short to be miserable. So until then, bye-bye for now. Bye.
Adios, amoebas.
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy